to Davy Provan.
It hasn't taken Alan Thompson long to make an impression at Celtic. A debut goal has been followed by a string of impressive performances on the left side of midfield. And after a disappointing time at Villa Park, he's delighted with the impact he's made at his new club.
It's always nice to get off on the right foot, and I think I've done that in some way to be in the right foot, so hopefully that'll continue.
It helps when you score on your debut as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I've yet to score in the league, so I'll be trying my hardest in the next few weeks to try and get on the score sheet.
How would you describe the difference between playing out there and playing at Villa Park?
Oh, it's very different, really. Yeah, this place is full every game. That's a big difference. Villa Park wasn't full every game. There was always probably 10 or 12,000 under the capacity. So, yeah, so that's the main difference.
Were you prepared for Celtic being as big as it is before you made the move?
I knew it was big. I knew it was a massive club, but no, I didn't think it was quite as big as what I found out how it is.
We've seen you play wide left, we've seen you play one in. What's your own preference?
I don't mind, to be honest. I do like playing in the middle. You get more involved out there, you know, you're not relying on when you play left back, you're relying on other people getting you the ball, but when you're in the middle yourself, you know, it's down to yourself then. But so I don't mind where I play, really. It's just I don't quite feel 100% fit at the minute, so playing out wide, it's hard work out there. I know it's hard work in the middle, but you've got to get up and down for 90 minutes when you play wide, and hopefully, you know, if I get a bit fit, I'll be able to do that a bit better.
How are you enjoying working with Martin O'Neill? How would you describe his style?
Intense, very intense. I think you know, there's no room for any, you know, sitting back and enjoying it. You know, you've really got to work, and if you don't work, you won't be in a team. And you know, that's how he gets the best out of people.
Why did the move take so long? Because we were hearing for weeks that you were on your way to Celtic, and yet it seemed to drag on a bit.
I don't know, to be honest, Davey. I heard when I was on holiday that it could happen, and then for some reason or another reason, Villa wanting more money and all that, it just dragged on a bit too long, really, and I wish that had been sorted out sooner rather than later, but you know, eventually it did happen and I was delighted.
Were your mates in the Villa dressing room, were they surprised that you chose to come to Scotland?
No, not really. No, I spoke to a lot of the lads down there and they were delighted, really. Said it was a great move for us and what have you, and no, I got plenty of support from them. Is
there a high regard within English football now, or certainly for the old firm these days?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, yeah. Knowing the people I've spoken to and what have you since I've come up there, and they've took a bit more, you know, kept an eye on it because I've come up and that, and they've been impressed, you know.
This is the kind of penetration that Thompson can provide for Martin O'Neill, but an Intertoto Cup appearance for Villa means he's cup tied for Celtic's UEFA Cup campaign.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, it is. But you know, I said to someone the other day, it's the league that's the most important. Of course, Europe's important as well. It's a massive competition, and that's what everyone wants to qualify for at the end of the season. But I think this season we'd love to win the league.
When you played for Villa in the Intertoto Cup, were you aware at the time what the implications might be? Were you to move on?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and there's nothing I could do about it. I was still an Aston Villa employee, and they were paying me wages. And when he said I was playing, I had to play.
I read at the weekend that you reckon that John Gregory did it deliberately.
Yeah, I think he could have done, yeah. I mean, he had other players that started the season for him the first game away at Leicester. And on that night over in Celta Vigo and down at West Brom's ground, we played there. There was other players he could have played, but he played myself instead, you know, and it was a strange one.
Looking ahead now, from what you've seen of the squad so far, obviously Rangers are strong, very strong on the other side of town. Can Celtic win this title?
Oh yeah, I think so, without a doubt, yeah. But Rangers know what they have to do. They know that they're grinding out results at the minute as well. I don't think we're playing particularly well, but I don't think they're firing on all cylinders as well. So they know that they can't slip up, and we know that we can't slip up. So it's going to be a tight one, but yeah, we definitely think we can go all the way, yeah.
Dunfermline Celtic ahead of Rangers since they won.
It was an emotional moment for Douglas as he said goodbye to Dundee supporters after the 2-0 win over Aberdeen at Pittodrie. Celtic have agreed a fee of around £1.25 million. Douglas will now discuss personal terms.
I think he looks an exceptionally talented goalkeeper. He's forcing his way in along with Jonathan into the Scottish squad at this minute, and Sullivan's in front of both of them at this stage. So he looks a very decent goalkeeper.
Celtic strangers to 6 points with the 2-0 win against St Mirren. Celtic fans may be dreaming of the title. The manager continues to play things down.
I still believe, I know I'm saying this almost ad nauseum now, they are the main side, the biggest side, Rangers I'm talking about, and we will attempt to get as close as we possibly can. We've given ourselves a sort of a...
Larson with serious intent. Ryan puts it in, it's there! Well, I said they had to relieve the tension, and they've done it brilliantly.
After we'd been together through so much, sharing so many moments.
Here's Larson. On and through to Marabchik. He should put it away, just over. Marabchik, a little bit of space around him. Wants it with a left foot, that's a very good save. And Larson slips. Well, I don't know what it is about the surface at Celtic Park today, but several of the players have been finding it very hard to keep their feet at crucial moments, and this was certainly one of them. But Larson and a 1-1. Couldn't quite get hold of it. Agat using his pace to great effect. And just touch away. Brilliant run by Agat as Larson came in for the kill. Waiting for the break. Thompson hovering on the edge of the box, and that's in! Sutton gets his head to it. Well, that was coming. The pressure mounting and floating the ball high into the penalty has been causing this defence no end of trouble. And with the best of efforts of Turner, it couldn't be kept out. Agat goes away. Thompson to his left foot. Not far away. Lovely little touch on by Larson. He'll get the ball back again. Beautiful play. And oh, he can't put it away. That's a very good looking ball as Nicholson comes up. Marabchik is tracking him. He did a Marabchik on him, in fact, and that's not a bad effort. I think that almost deceived Golden goal. I think he was expecting a ball played to the far post. As I said, that was almost a Marabchik touch there as he touched the ball round Luba and then went for goal himself. Tommy Boyd. Celtic trying to turn the tide slightly here. There's a beautiful ball inside, and it just passed again. Larson, Agat comes in. Can he put it away? He's missed it. Once again opened up there by Larson. He did everything right. And the crowd were willing to put this in the back of the net. Petrov. This time stmirren spread out. Thompson cutting in. Will he do it this time? No. Very good save this time. And for about the fourth time in the game, Thompson has cut in. Down that left-hand side. This time trying to finish it with his right foot. Swung out wide there and touched away. Baltacha. Right on the edge of the box, a free kick. Very clumsy effort at that. Larson with serious intent. Ryan puts it in, it's there! Well, I said they had to relieve the tension, and they've done it brilliantly. Well, a whole whole cluster of players in front of him. You could tell by the mood as he shaped up to this that he wanted this himself. Boyd takes it. Well, it's going to be a free kick. There will be time for this. Outside of foot this time and over by Healy. Well, once again, the youngster did very well to get himself into the box. The right place, at the right time, but the wrong judgment.
So, 9 wins out in O'Neill, but he won't give up his quest for a regular starting place. He's been talking to David Tanner.
Last Wednesday, Eyal Berkovic scored and was man of the match as his country beat Bosnia in a World Cup match. On Saturday, he was an unused sub for Celtic. Berkovic is now showing signs of restlessness in Glasgow.
Of course, it's not the best mood and not the best feeling to sit on the bench, but I try to be cool because also I've got my family, and I don't want to affect on my family. And I try to do my best in training, to work hard and to wait to my chance.
How does not playing affect your mentality?
I try to be normal, because if I'm going home and I be very disappointed and sad, so it's gonna affect on my family, and I don't want to do it. So I try to be normal, and again to work hard and to wait. But in a moment it's not the best time, but this is life and you need to expect everything. And we see. In a moment I carry on and I train hard, but maybe it will come the moment that I decide to change my mind and I try to find another club. But in a moment I'm waiting and we see what happens.
Yeah, when do you think that moment will be? I mean, how long can you put up with being on the sidelines?
Not long, because I like the game. I want to be on the pitch, and it's very difficult for me to sit on the bench. I never used to do it, and it's very difficult for me. And also I've got my national career, that this is what is the most important thing for me now. It's to play for my country, and I don't want to destroy my career in Israel. And if I want to play for Israel, I need to play regular team in my team, because I lost my fitness. I'm losing my fitness, and I don't want to do it. But in a moment I try to carry on, but I don't think it's going to be for a long time, because I want to play.
Do you see yourself being here by Christmas, by the end of the year?
I tell you, it's very, very difficult for me to leave this club, because since I came to England to play in Southampton, I told to all my family and everybody around me that I want to play in big club. And I think that Celtic is a very big club. I love this club, and I want to play for this club. But if the manager don't want me to play, so in the end of the day I need to think about moving, because I'm still young and I want to play. And I think that if I'm not play until Christmas, so maybe I consider a move, yeah. But in a moment I fight and I'm training very hard, and it's option of the manager to give me to play or not.
How strong was Graham Souness's interest in you earlier in the season?
I've got a very good relationship with Graham. I think he's a great manager. He's a very good character, and we are very similar in our character. And when I play for him in Southampton, we had a very good time together. But in a moment it's fell, the deal is fell. But you never know, maybe it's come and be on again. But there is another few clubs are interesting, and we'll see.
Can you say who at this time?
No, I can't say, sorry.
Premiership?
Yes.
In adversity, you appear to have reacted well, because a £6 million player could quite easily have mouthed off about the manager and about the club.
I'm professional, you know. This is his view on the football, and I give him all the respect. I think that in the end of the day, I think that every good player will find himself on the pitch, and this is why I'm so patient.
What do you think of the way the team plays under Martin O'Neill? Do you feel as though you can do a job out there?
I tell you the truth and fair, this is not my type of game, because Martin looking for a long ball more than short ball, and more physical, and this is not my type of game. But I think that Martin is a very good manager in his type of and his system. He's a very good manager. And in a moment you can't say nothing because to the tip.
McPherson.
The fair weather over Celtic Park today brings the usual large crowd, and with it an optimism which reflects the confidence of both team and support, both of which are looking forward to an exciting week of domestic and European football. Well, it's no debut for Robert Douglas today, given that Jonathan Gould is to be played on Thursday in Bordeaux. Lubo Moravcik is out and Bobby Petta is in. Apart from that, no other major changes. And on the other side from Bobby Petta, Didier Egat, the Frenchman who had an absolutely explosive debut last week, running the legs of St Mirren's defence. Well, Martin O'Neill has expressed surprise that United have slumped so badly after the opening game against Celtic. Slump is a diplomatic word to use, I would think. 4 changes from the side beaten 4-0 by Hearts. McQuillan starts for Stephen Wright, as does Benitez and John Lachina. And back in the side, Craig Easton, Scottish under-21 cap, and who scored a spectacular goal here last season. The referee today is John Underhill. Well, you know, look at the league situation, and you have to say to yourself, if Dundee United get away with even a point today, it surely signifies the age of miracles is not yet over. Now, Alex Smith is a very experienced and respected coach, and he must realize that given what has been happening recently, he really has to get something special out of his side today, or else they could be in for a heavy defeat, or perhaps even a humiliation. Egat. He's aiming for goal this time, held it just a little bit too long. Thompson. Beautifully spreading the play. Petta always eager to pick it up in that area there and make for the goal line, as he does! Wow, that's remarkable. You really would have put your money on Chris Sutton finishing that off. Now, just how close was he? Beautiful play by Petta again. A touch of aggression, accuracy in the pass, and that really should have been put into the back of the net. Larson. Egat. Couldn't get any break there at all. I think they must have been watching the video of last week to see how effective this man was in a 1-2-1, and consequently they've always had that extra defender in there. Thompson's ball should curl in, and it does! So close. As that came in here, big men were up and just clipping the top of the bar. One little buzz from this man, of course, could alter things. Yes, Larson. Petrov looking for a run by Thompson, which was happening right through the middle. Prefers to put that to Petta. Little mesmeric twist to the feet there. And first time in the game he's really had clearance for a header like this, but not with the strength that he would ideally have liked, making it easy for Alan Coombe. DeVos. In comes Thompson. Little shuffle again, and again another corner kick. Well, Thompson, of course, operates on the left. That's his preferred side, much more effective with that left foot of his. But he does have that little shuffle which takes him away from defenders. There's Coombe, and that's the post. Alan Coombe missing that completely. Oh, look there. It goes wide, and there's the break. There's a little ball inside, and it's stopped in the right the way that Lacina slid in there. There goes Larson. Just chucked away by De Vos, who's been playing outstandingly well. There he is, in the middle of the picture. Some not very complimentary remarks made by Alec Matthew about this big fella, but I think he'll just shrug them off. And it goes, and that's it! Larson again! Henrik Larsson has this ability to pick his side up, as he did at Aberdeen, almost exact replica of the way he put it in the net at Pittodrie. As I was saying, they had this defence covered so very well. And at a vital time, 11 minutes before half-time, up he pops again in a cluster of players and made it look ridiculously simple after all the huffing and puffing in front of goal that preceded it. Well, he'll be delighted by that. Must be delighted that he's got a player like Larson on his books at all that can simply get a go when things are not just going the way anticipated. Played in there to Fuentes. Can't get it out strongly enough. That's a great save by Gould. It's always a very effective save by a goalkeeper when he's had hardly anything to do. And then suddenly up pops a shot like this, and a difficult one, hitting the ground in front of him. Never easy for a keeper, but he made it look so. Easton. There's Thompson. Corner kick. Well, Tommy Boyd not happy with it. Feels that Thompson got the last touch there. They were both into it. Curl and tremendous height in it, and it's, I think, it's an appeal that that ball had been over the line by the United players. Strong appeal there as that was played in, and that looked over the line. I must say, that was very, very close indeed. Well, now, when troubles come, they come in legions, as they say. There's the man who... Well, I think at the start of the second half, it would be a safe bet to say that Martin O'Neill wasn't all that impressed by his 11 men out there in the first half. Yes, in the lead, yes, they missed chances, but sometimes they made very heavy weather of the way they came forward and allowed Dundee United occasionally to make interesting breaks. So expect, I think, a sharper attitude in this half. Easton simply giving it away again, though. Well, there's a Celtic manager. Big task in front of him, of course. He's wanting to win this league championship but also do well in Europe. And first real test on Bordeaux on Thursday. Up by Thompson, but nobody giving him any support there. Celtic's Thompson with it now. Agard now. Celtic supporters want him to run at this defence as he did St Mirren so very effectively. Not so much today, though. Threaded beautifully through. Sutton going in for it. Well, Alan Coombe was very brave to get down there. I think he took a knock on the head as well, as you see him going into it. Sutton going in after the ball. He had to. Bulgaren did that well enough. Wants to come forward himself. There's a run by Bulgaren. Oh, get into a little bit of a tangle. It's a throw at the end of the day, but the supporters like that. A little bit more aggression. And that had them rising to their feet. Boyd covering Fuentes well. He gets away with it though. He holds on to the ball just a bit too often, Fuentes. Petter now. Can he do the same again, Agat? Oh, slack with that one, decided to go on his own. Well, I don't think you could blame him. He looked up very quickly to see if there was any cover. And there certainly was. Bordeaux, Atangana comes on in place of Fuentes. To Lambert. Is Valcheren. Thompson. Beautifully inside, that's a great goal. Picked up beautifully by Thompson, raiding from that deep position. Well, he took it superbly well. The second goal for the club, rifling it in. I think he would have preferred the left foot, but it doesn't matter. He hit that with a great deal of certainty. Beautifully touched down to him. Pressure still on. Look how wide Sutton's gone. Petrov. Easily taken away from Petrov, and you know that's bad play when he can hold on to a ball in a position like that. Benitez, I think, has, like too many of the Dundee United players in difficult situations, held on to the ball too long without parting with it. Thompson, just away there. Valcheren coming up. Lot of curl in it. Now no free kick, ball taken away. Easton with it, lays it out well. Now Benitez. Easton tried to slip through, no offside, and that's a decided miss there by Thompson. Well, Thompson, fine player that he is, finds it difficult to score goals. Very often getting himself into good positions like that. All played well back by Mvonda. There's McQuillan, and that's in, it's an own goal. Well, out of virtually nothing, Paul Lambert, as that ball was bouncing in the most untidy way in the box, somehow that happens to a player, even a fine player like Paul Lambert, taking it their first time and then putting it in. It's astonishing that Celtic should have conceded that after having had no trouble. I think Jonathan Gould could have been in the stand at this stage. Fizzing. Larson, Kekalachino on very well. Larson coming in for the kill, and it's taken away by DeVos, who's been quite outstanding for United. The Canadian international at his very best. 9 minutes remaining. Oh, just over. Once again, Henrik Larsson, superb in the air. Lot of curling in it, and nobody is there, and that's a goal kick. And the final whistle goes. A little bit of sense of relief about that cheer at the end by the Celtic supporters. It's not as if Dundee United posed any great threats in the second half, but at least they were resolute in defence and took it right down to the wire with, I suppose, a crazy goal. The first one, of course, coming from that man, Henrik Larsson, almost inevitably after near misses, popping up in the penalty area, as he so remarkably does so often, to put Celtic in the lead. And then a glorious goal in the second half. Sutton laying it on to Thompson, but it still had to be finished, which it was with the right foot. And then towards the end of the Celtic 2, Dundee United 1.
We got the goals at important stages of the game, obviously, but it was always going to be a difficult game. I think that perhaps expectation was very, very high. The fact that we're top of the league at the moment and that Dundee United are bottom. I think that people will think coming to Celtic Park, oh, this should be all right. But football's not like that.
We came and we played much better than we've been.
Test, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Bordeaux were a top-class side in the Champions League last season. I happen to think that that they're certainly the top 3 sides in France, so it'll be difficult for us.
Does this compare at all to Lyon a year ago? I know you weren't in charge then, but I think you did see some of those games.
Well, it's in many aspects it's similar in the sense it's the same stage of the competition, and Lyon also have proved themselves a very, very good side. Our own development, it'll be a test for us in that sense, you know. And please don't get me wrong. I want to do very, very well in the tournament. I really do. And tonight is a massive test for us. But in many aspects, it is a test. It's precisely that there, because it'll give us an idea to see if we have made any sort of progress at all, which I think we have. Unfortunately, we're missing Sutton tonight, so we'll have to change a little thing here and there. But overall, I mean, big game for us. I want us to stay in the game so that there's a possibility or a strong probability that everything will depend on the second match at Celtic Park.
How much have your plans altered because of the absence of Sutton?
Well, he's a big player for us at the moment, you know, and he and Larson have been central to our plans. Obviously, you know, they've played together now for some time, but you have to accommodate injuries. Now we're not in the best position possible, you know, but even so, that's up to us. Every side gets injuries and they have to cope with them.
It's that old European tightrope tonight, isn't it, where you'd love to grab an away goal, but you've got to keep it tight at the back.
And you're spot on, absolutely right in both of them.
That's what makes it a bit of cat and mouse tonight. Difficult quite to decide how to go about it.
No, but I mean, we'll still go in. I mean, we have the ability to adjust, but we'll still go in with the wide players, Bobby Petta and Didier Agat. We can change systems round for whatever it may be. But eventually, as many a manager will tell you in hindsight, systems don't win matches, you know, players do. I think the lads are up for the game, you know, as I've just said earlier, it is a test for us here. But it's a test that we are going to try and overcome.
Moravcik used to wow them in France. You'll be hoping for a repeat of that.
Yeah, I mean, I know what Lubu can do. You know, he's got fantastic ability. Tonight, I think, you're talking about European nights. Tonight, away from home, it's really important that we keep hold of the ball. That is essential for us. Don't want to be giving it away willy-nilly. And we have players who are capable of holding it. We've also got a bit of width in the side as well, too. I want to cause them problems as much as anything else. Overall, I'd be delighted if we get a goal. I'd be delighted if we won about 6-0.
We wish you all the best. Let's hope you're right. Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure he'll be.
Position he'll face tonight. 2 changes from the side which drew with Lyon at the weekend. Wilmot's injured, Bonicel suspended, but still Gordon, some pretty useful names there as we look at Celtic's Henrik Larsson and Lubo Moravcik, who made such a big impression, of course, when he was a player in France. So we've seen the Bordeaux lineup, Gordon, and there is the Celtic lineup minus Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton not available for this game, and it will be a blow, but they have likes of Moravcik to bring in, who has experience in France, as you mentioned, Rob, and plenty of experience at international and the European level too. So I think that that'll cope adequately. They don't have the strength and power of Sutton, but then again, Moravcik is probably better at holding the ball and can create a bit more for them as well. And from set pieces, they'll have Moravcik's ability to whip the ball in. I think the biggest question mark they'll have is exactly how they're going to have to adjust in terms of the way Bordeaux are going to play. If Dugarry plays as a wide left player, then Celtic won't be able to play their normal 3 at the back. They'll have to adjust to a 4, and probably Jackie McNamara will be asked to come in and play in the right back area. And it's such a wide pitch. I've been down on it. It's in lovely condition. It will suit good football, but it's a wide pitch, and it means that Celtic would be stretched if they decide to play with 3 up front.
We saw a French television interview there being done with the Bordeaux coach Elie Bopp, who has pretty much changed Bordeaux's style in the last couple of years. This match now gets underway. There used to be a lot more flamboyance about them. Still a bit of that, but they're a much more solid, workmanlike outfit since he took charge. Celtic, it's 17 years since they reached the 3rd round of a European competition. That was 83-84 when they were eventually ousted by Nottingham Forest. So that's a record that they certainly want to put right. And Bobby Petta immediately races towards the byline. That's a good ball in, and Henrik Larsson! Just over the top. 30 seconds. And Celtic almost ahead, and an injury to Larsson.
Well, it was great work, but look how brave Larsson is here. He sees an opportunity, he knows the keeper's going to come and clatter him there, and he does take it full in the face in his efforts to get that ball in the net, and he was so unlucky. It's just landed on top of the net. The Celtic fans thought it would go in, but you have to say Larsson, I mean, he's not had much luck playing in France, and right at the very beginning of this game, he takes a severe knock in his face, and you know, he's going to have to have some treatment, and it's just a pity from his point of view he couldn't have put the ball in the net, but what an opportunity it was. Good win by Petter on the left-hand side.
I think it was the follow-through that caught him there, Gordon, because it was open hands from Rami as he came out. It wasn't as if he punched Larsson there, but I think Larsson was possibly caught with his elbow following through, so that's a painful one.
They get away with it at times, goalkeepers, I have to say that, because in other parts of the field, you know, you'd probably be pulled up for a challenge like that, but Larsson was very brave. The opportunity was there. I mean, he knows the keeper is going to come through him there, and the keepers are, you know, being apologetic to the referee at the moment, but he's giving Larsson a full one in his nose, but possibly, let's hope it's not another break, a broken nose from that sort of effort, but it certainly was a sore one. But as I say, it would have been better all round for him, and it would have been worth his while if he could have managed to put the ball in the net. Petter did well to get into that position. Celtic winning the ball very quickly from Bordeaux's centre and busting through there, and you know, getting an opportunity on the left-hand side. But you know, Larsson's on his feet, and let's hope he's okay.
The Celtic supporters looking suitably refreshed as the match gets underway, and the Bordeaux supporters having their say as well. And another look at how Henrik Larsson was injured, but he's going to be okay to come back on. You can just see him in the background there, trotting up the touchline before he's allowed back into the play. And Celtic minus Sutton right from kick-off certainly didn't want to lose Henrik Larsson there, such a vital player. And within inches they are giving Celtic the lead, and a sprightly start too by Bobby Petter, doing exactly what Martin O'Neill would want him to be doing tonight, which is getting up and down the touchline and being much more concerned with attacking play than defending.
Yeah, it's a good positive start by Celtic, and once again there at the start of play with 10 players, Bordeaux tried to work the ball forward, Celtic in quickly with interception. But I'm looking at the formation that Bordeaux have out. Dugarry is sitting as mainly a midfield player at the moment, just off the strikers, not wide as such, and it's allowing Celtic to continue with the three-at-the-back system. But if Dugarry comes wide, they'll have to alter.
This is about the first we've seen from Bordeaux in the match. That's Bruno Basto on the ball, one of the Portuguese players in the side. And Lassina Diabate, the Ivory Coast international, at the heart of the midfield. Shifts it wide left for Christophe Dugarry. Slides a pass inside Didier Agat, but it was well read by Johan Mjalby. His clearance up towards Henrik Larsson, back on the pitch. Dugarry, Diabate. Vinsky trying to link play together through the midfield. It was a good solid start from Celtic, and now Bobby Petter in possession again. He's lost it. Bordeaux currently 8th in the French league, but just 7 points off the pace. It's pretty tightly packed, although they have had a pretty average start to the season. This looks interesting for them though. It's Dugarry, too heavy with the cutback. Bobby Petter is able to intercept, and he runs the ball out to play on the far side before Pascal Van Duno can do any damage, but there was a clear threat there to Celtic, left side from Dugarry.
Yeah, it's probably one of the potential dangers they have with somebody like Agat in a wing-back position. Great going forward there, but he lost his man. He was ball-watching. Dugarry got goal side of him and then got in behind him there, and not the best crosses from Dugarry, but they'll need to be careful because he'll come from the sort of central position and get himself out wide. But it's good to see that Larsson's okay. He's committed a foul there, but looks like he's got over that injury anyway.
Immediately threatening again on the French penalty box. He might well have had an infringement given against him there, but he was desperate to get through on Rami, put some pressure on, and the goalkeeper knocked the ball out of play. But in fact, the free kick has now been given, and that was an incident in which Stilian Petrov managed to escape. It looked as if he might have conceded a free kick just outside the box, but the referee ruled in his favour. Petrov is on something of a tightrope tonight because he's been yellow carded in the competition already, so another booking for him tonight would mean that he will miss the return. He's an important part of that central midfield core of the Celtic team. Now Bordeaux again shifting the ball wide left. Johan Mjalby covering across. The run from Pauletta. That's a good change of direction. Did he overrun it? Yes, he did. It was out of play. has gone behind, but he is a player that Celtic will have special eyes on, Pauletto. He's a Portuguese international. He came from Deportivo just a couple of months ago, and already got 2 hat-tricks this season from him.
Yeah, he's fitted in very well, and you can see there from that little piece of action, pulling Mialbi into a 1v1 situation, pulling out wide. Nice change of feet there, and good footwork to get in the cross. So there'll be a danger. Celtic will need to be organised and try not to let their players get caught in 1-against-1 situations, because they're obviously pretty sharp and they're good individual ability.
Lubo Moravcik, who was a star in French football in the past, although he's really been starved of success in his career despite his undoubted ability, looking to extend Celtic's European run this season. I mentioned it was 17 years since Celtic had reached the 3rd round. It's 20 years since they played in Europe after Christmas. That's another record that badly needs rewritten. And good play there from Jos Valharen, as Eli Bopp, the Bordeaux coach, issues some instructions with a flourish on the touchline. Not a player of great quality, Bopp in his time, but building a career as a coach. Jonathan Gould, not too impressed with his kick-out, but it runs through to Moravcik, and now taken on by Larsson. It's a good challenge. Wins it back for Bordeaux. Petrov trying to pick his way through. It's all very tight. Free kick given against Diabate for the challenge here on Bulgarian Petrov.
Yeah, I don't think it was Diabate's challenge. I think he was tripped from behind because Diabate won the ball, but I think it was a challenge coming from the back, Rob.
So Petrov heads for the penalty box. Lubo Moravcik with the free kick. It's headed clear by Roche. Only as far as Jackie McNamara. Didn't really catch the shot. Doesn't score too many, McNamara, and needed a little bit more behind this one.
Yeah, no power in it, but he's hit the target. I think that's Jackie McNamara's first touch, and we're quite keen to have got that because, you know, taking the ball, good control there. That might be where they miss Sutton from, likes the set piece of that, his power and strength in the air. But they've got Valharen and Mialbi there who can win it, so you can still get something.
Somai for Bordeaux. And Alain Roche. Long ball, angled ball for Dugarry, but he was never going to catch that one. A real star, Dugarry, started his career with Bordeaux, and now he's back where he started, having had spells with Milan, Barcelona and Marseille, but we saw as recently as Euro 2000, he's a player of real quality. That's well won for Celtic by Petrov. Taken on by Lubo Moravcik, but he loses out to Diabate. And now Francois Grenier. Down the line for Dugarry, been given no time at all on the ball by Paul Lambert. And that's the way, certainly, that Dugarry, the Bordeaux captain, has to be played.
Looks like he's got a total free roll as well. I've watched him, and he's floating about across the midfield area, trying to get into spaces all the time, so he can just do what he wants out there. So it means that you can't really put a man on him to mark him, but the Celtic players will need to pass him on at times from where he turns up, and they need to make sure that he doesn't get free, because he's a match winner. As you said, he's had this great career, but he's failed at top clubs. He's never really achieved anything, and although he continues to play in the French team, he's back where he started his football at Bordeaux.
And when he was first at Bordeaux, the great Zinedine Zidane was here as well. Some pretty famous names have come through this club, the likes of Gires and Tigana. Eric Cantona had a spell here as well. Now McNamara for Celtic. To Didier Agathe, formerly of Montpellier in the French League. An ex of Raith Rovers and Hibs more recently. Now McNamara needs a good ball into the box, but that's too close to Ulrich Rami. An experienced goalkeeper, a couple of French caps to his name, and he wasn't going to be deceived by this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good ball. I think that Henrik Larsson made the decision there, and it turned out to be the wrong one, of peeling away from goal rather than going in tight to the near post where there might have been a chance. And he acknowledged that fact, Larsson. He gave Jackie McNamara a wave as if to say, I should have been in there.
A wayward pass from Didier Agathe, intercepted by Van Duno, and now Lilian Lasland trying to link again with Van Duno, the Guinea international, but Bobby Pettup working hard. He's a big, muscular, almost a British style of striker is Lasland. 14 goals last season in the French League, but struggling at the moment for form. And there was some thought that he might even be left out tonight. But it's he and Paoletta up front for Bordeaux. And no free kick there, despite Paoletta's best efforts. The referee was close in. Tom Henning Ovrebo from Norway. Ulrich Rami. Neat touch on the ball. Staying calm and launching it downfield. The head of Paul Lambert. Diabete. Back from Dugarry to Somai and his central defensive partner Alain Roche. And at right back is Francois Grenet. Up through Lasland, back to Grenet again, overlapping. And linking with Fenduno. Into the box from Grenet. Paoletta hits the deck. Optimistic noises around the Stade Lescour, but little chance that a penalty was going to be given there.
I think he had a good case, Rob, to be honest with you. Ball was played in there, he's taken an excellent touch just across the front of Mjällby. Mjällby has come in pretty clumsily, really, to save it. The referee doing Celtic a real favour. I wouldn't mind a look at that again.
That's a wild challenge by Grenet on Peta. Well, here is the chance to see it again. My instinct was that he was trying to make the most of this. See what you think.
Well,
yeah,
seen them given. Look.
Certainly had his hands round his waist, Mjällby, and debatable, I think would be the word. But thankfully for Celtic, the claims were waved away. Tom Boyd launches a free kick towards the edge of the area, bouncing towards Agat. That's good play from Henrik Larsson, heading for the byline and wins a corner kick, first of the match. Industrious stuff again from Larsson. And a set-piece opportunity here.
Yeah, he worked it well there with Agat and took over possession of the ball. I'm not sure there was much in the middle there, even if he gets cross in, so it probably worked out a bit better for Celtic that there was deflection and gives Peta a chance to throw it in, swing it in with the left foot.
In from Bobby Peta. Out comes Rami, gets a punch to it. Here's a chance for Paul Lambert. Deflected wide, another corner kick, this time on the far side. That was a well-controlled volley from Lambert.
Breeze have gone in this, so you can see it goes through a number of people there, and I'm not sure they exactly knew what was happening. A little deflection, good jump there. Mjällby almost getting the same treatment as Larsson got there, but Paul Lambert keeps it down. It's going in the corner.
And here comes another corner kick, this time cleared comfortably by Bordeaux. It was a good effort from Lambert and good pressure on the goalkeeper from Mjällby. Bobby Peta makes a good run. Free kick given against the challenge of Diabate as Peta cut inside. Well, not a lot of contact there, was there?
Very little, but the referee was close to it, so he must have felt there was a foul. But I thought Peta was in a good position maybe to swing in a shot there, but they have another set-piece opportunity there. They'll probably be looking for Mjällby or Wilhelm.
Yeah, Mjällby and Valharan at the edge of the area, and Paul Lambert over the ball, but now he's left it to Henrik Larsson. His cross, Bobby Peta wins a header, dangerous in the 6-yard box. It fell to a Bordeaux player. Roche managed to thump the ball clear, but that was a decent opportunity with Peta not picked up at the far post.
So you have to say, looking at the cross that Henrik Larsson headed over, the opportunity there that came from the corner, and from that free kick there, getting Peta in at the back post, you have to say that you know, they're not defending set pieces or crosses too well, and a little bit of encouragement for Celtic in that fact.
14 minutes gone, and 0-0 in Bordeaux. Live from BBC Scotland, and we'll bring you the whole of the return match in 2 weeks' time as well. Alain Roche for Bordeaux, out to Francois Grenet. That's good play from Lubomir Moravcik, working hard to win back possession. Playing it out wide for Didier Agat. It's a long ball launched through the middle by Bruno Basto, but it bounces through to Jonathan Gould.
Celtic's organisation so far has been good, Rob. They've not given much away. Notice Paul Lambert's sort of taking on the role of marking Dugarry, making sure he doesn't get free. But I say that they've actually defended it very well so far. And apart from that, you know, the debatable tackle by Mjällby in the box, you know, they've never really been threatened, Celtic, and consequently Jonathan Gould has nothing to do.
Good little touch that from Bobby Peta, looking very confident. Henrik Larsson doing the chasing. Back from Roche.
Free kick's been given.
Rami, free kick given. And Again, Mjällby heads forward, and Jos Valharen as well. The Swede and the Belgian up to bolster the attack, and Lubo Moravcik will be looking for a good delivery here. 4,000 Celtic fans waiting expectantly. In from Moravcik, Didier Agathe at the far post, couldn't get his head to it, and that goes down as a chance lost. Another look now at the effort from Paul Lambert, and the defender on the goal line didn't look totally convinced, Gordon, about this at all. Off his shin, it could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, he's made a bit of a mess of the clearance, but it looks as if he maybe sort late. That could easily have just skidded in off his leg and into the net. So they've been unlucky so far. I mean, they've had better chances so far than Bordeaux, and considering that Celtic away from home, it's been a very, very good start from them.
His only other goal this season, Paul Lambert, was in the Old Firm match, so maybe he's wanting to specialise in big game goals. Not a prolific scorer of goals, Paul Lambert, but such a crucial figure to Martin O'Neill at the heart of the midfield.
Yeah, and as I say, he's taking on the responsibility now from playing the central role to Mark Dugarry. I don't know whether that's instructions from the sidelines or he's taking on himself. Paul Lambert's a type of player that would do that himself if he thought it was the necessary thing, but he's doing a man-for-man marking job now in Dugarry.
Alain Roche with the long ball, angled for Christophe Dugarry. Lovely touch, great control. Paul Lambert sticking to him, and then offering assistance, Didier Agathe. But look at the concentration written all over the face of Lambert here. He realises that great threat could stem from Dugarry. Here he is again on the ball. Forced out by Agathe. The support comes from Basto, heading for the byline. McNamara went with him. Made a good challenge, McNamara, and when the ball was whipped in at the near post, Jonathan Gould was there. Henrik Larsson against Alain Roche. Roche back to Rami, and, well, all that was missing there was the cigar as he flipped the ball over the head of Larsson. No sense of panic with the keeper.
Yeah, it was very cool goalkeeping there. At first I thought that Jonathan Gould might have been better just keeping possession, wasting a bit of time, but the long kick out certainly caused Bordeaux a problem.
Good play again from Peta, setting up Moravcik. That's clever for McNamara. Trying to play that into the feet of Henrik Larsson. Didn't find its target. An opportunity lost. And now Bordeaux on the counter-attack with Dugarry, but he's given that away. Mjällby intercepts and also finds a good pass. Good distribution. Peta in possession. No way through for him. Diabete was the player immediately in the way, and now Lilian Laslong through the middle for Pauletta, cut out by Mjällby. Misjudgment by Tom Boyd, and Laslong back on the ball again. Van Duno, good balance, and tries a crack from 25 yards out. Hooked it wide, didn't really catch the shot.
Yeah, ball just knocked back Laslong, gets it there, and he wins a couple of challenges to get through here, but let's say if they're restricted to shooting from that sort of distance all night, then you know, the Celtic would be very happy with that. They haven't really built a real decent chance at the moment.
Paul Lambert, good pass, finds Lubo Moravcik, and Didier Agathe in the wide position. He's pacey, testing out Basto. Good play from Agathe. Jackie McNamara wanted that played in front of him as he sprinted towards the edge of the box, didn't get it. Now he has to backtrack with Bordeaux back on the ball. Grenet launching a long ball down towards Pauletta. Celtic defended that pretty well, and hooked away by Mjällby. Stilian Petrov. Didier Agathe. Lubo Moravcik has drifted over from left to right. That's for Henrik Larsson. Onside! For once, the first touch wasn't good enough. Otherwise, that was a real chance for the opening goal for Larsson.
Absolutely, it's a surprise to say that in relation to Henrik Larsson, a bad first touch, but that's exactly what it was, because it was a real opportunity. He's got in behind the defender here. He has to just get more of a contact, a soft contact on that, and he's through, and the keeper's come out, and it's been an easy pick-up for him.
Just look at the grimace there on the face of Henrik Larsson. He knew it immediately, that split second as the ball landed on his boot. He realised that could have been a golden chance, and you always expect him to get the ball killed instantly and to offer himself up a chance of a shot at goal. And you'd have put your money on him sticking that one away as well. A yellow card, first of the match, for Lassina Diabete. And a few few players, including Petrov, of course, are watching very closely at what happens in terms of disciplinary matters tonight, because nobody wants a second yellow, which would mean missing out on Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's difficult going in with the studs showing. I don't think he makes any contact there. I think Petrov made the most of it, but the studs were showing, and he ends up with a yellow card.
Celtic cruising it in the SPL back home, but they know this is a big test of how far they've come under Martin O'Neill. Long ball from Jonathan Gould, headed away by Grinney and left by Basto for Rami. French squad goalkeeper, but not a threat as first choice at the moment to Fabien Barthez. That's lost by Lambert. In went Dugarry, Diabete to Bruno Basto. Down the line for Pauletta. And now Basto again, taking on McNamara, trying to get to the byline and whip the ball in. And wins a corner kick. Took a touch off Jackie McNamara. And Jonathan Gould with a corner kick to defend now.
Yeah, he did well enough, Jackie McNamara, because he didn't buy the first dummy there, and he just stuck to his task and made sure the cross wasn't going to come in. Deflected for the corner. It'll be interesting to see how Celtic defend this, the first corner they've had to defend in this match.
The Bordeaux fans making plenty of noise behind that goal, and the set piece ends up with the opening goal. And it's Christophe Dugarry who gives Bordeaux the lead. 22 minutes gone. First set piece, first goal. And Celtic couldn't keep him out at the near post.
Yeah, we know Dugarry is good in the air. We saw that in Euro 2000, but this is very badly defended from Celtic's point of view. Good run in there, and there's no challenge here. Gets in the head of the near post. We wondered how they might defend it. They've caused problems at the other end. The first decent opportunity, and Dugarry gets it in.
It was all very easy for Christophe Dugarry. He started off at the back post, made his run to the near post. Neither Mialbi nor Boyd could get there in time. Mialbi, a vain appeal that he was being fouled by Dugarry, and that looked a pretty clean header at the near post. And Celtic, who've had so much of the game in the opening spell, find themselves one goal down.
Yeah, it's a major blow considering how Celtic have started the match. Very much the better side, the stronger side, and you know, doing really well, and suddenly find themselves first corner kick, first opportunity that they've had. Bordeaux to put the ball in the box, and Dugarry wins it, gets across the front of Mialbi. Might have just been pushing him there. I mean, there was a
hand on the shoulder.
There was definitely an arm on the back of Mialbi, but you don't often get those because it's very difficult to spot. What you have to do is just be strong and get the ball away, and that's a real blow to Celtic. Didn't defend it too well, but as I said before, Dugarry, we saw him in Euro 2000. He is very good in the air, and he leaps well. He's a big lad, and he just sneaked in, got in between the two defenders and made it count.
Yeah, attacked that well, did Christophe Dugarry. Timed his run across the 6-yard box superbly, and what you could say of Celtic, I suppose, defensively, is that they didn't really attack the ball enough. Free kick here, though, and Paul Lambert to take it. Mialbi and Valharan get forward again. Petrov, two at the edge of the area, alongside Larsson and Moravcik. Easily defended, comfortably defended for Bordeaux. Fendanu with a spectacular effort to try and get it clear. And a free kick is given.
Yeah, another foul by Diabate there, but it's not a massive blow to Celtic. I mean, I still think the most important thing about tonight's game from Celtic's point of view is getting a goal in this match. Obviously, they don't want to lose any more goals themselves, but they've got to score.
Didier Agat heading for the byline, turns the ball in. It's Diabate that's there, and that must be a penalty kick, and it is! Tremendously quick feet from Henrik Larsson, which won the penalty for Celtic. Bordeaux protest, but no doubt about it, Gordon.
I thought it was a penalty. Henrik Larsson, seen them not given, to be fair, but the referee was very quick to point to the spot. They're complaining about it still, but you can see here the defender takes a touch. Larsson comes across, robs him, and the challenge comes through, and he's made contact. Henrik Larsson just gets a little touch in front of him. Look at this. Just takes it, just knocks him over.
So, Henrik Larsson, who won the penalty kick, will now take it. And scores! That's a golden goal for Celtic. 1-1 and Martin O'Neill leads the celebrations. 25 minutes gone. Romy went one way, the ball went the other. Celtic back on level terms.
Yeah, superbly cool. Henrik Larsson keeps on scoring goals, penalties or otherwise, but he took that so well. And as you said, a golden goal, very important. European football nowadays, over 2 legs that you score away from home. Vital from their point of view, and puts them right back in this game, and probably makes up for the mistake they made at that, losing that first goal. And Martin O'Neill delighted.
Here's another look, Gordon, and it was just really the speed of thought of Henrik Larsson, apart from anything else, which got him in front of Somai, who was already committed to making his move for the ball. Sadly for him, Larsson got between him and the ball.
Yeah,
and that's why the penalty had to be given.
Exactly, it was clever enough because he didn't give up the ball when the cross was wasn't reaching him. He didn't just let that go. He went out there and won it.
He's a chaser of lost causes, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. That's what you want. I mean, he's already shown that in the early part, going for that header when he was obviously going to be hit by the goalkeeper. Very brave player on that occasion there. Just quick thinking, realising the defender might do something like that, and he's out there and he gets his team a penalty.
You can't see them at the moment. Well, maybe you can just about now, but the Celtic supporters are bouncing. And they might be again here. Didier Agat. In goes Jackie McNamara, stumbles, gets to his feet, down again. And Somai gets the ball clear. Celtic threatening again. Now comes Paul Lambert.
I mean, that could easily been a penalty as well. I mean, Paul Lambert's got hit there with a challenge, but if you show that one again, McNamara, I think he could have been fouled as he was going through. The referee wouldn't want to be so quickly giving another penalty, but certainly McNamara was impeded.
Maybe the French television director is not too keen to look at that one again at the moment. Still maybe shocked and stunned by Larsson's equaliser. And here is Henrik Larsson again after his 17th goal of the season. In from Petrov, and it was a decent enough header, but Lubo Moravcik was heading back the way at the time, and it was difficult to get any great power on it. But again, Celtic doing an awful lot of attacking in this match, and that will be a delight for Martin O'Neill. That could be a priceless goal for Celtic. A lot to do, obviously, a long way to go in this match. But the away goal they so badly wanted. If you've just joined us, it's 1-1 in Bordeaux. And we've 27.5 minutes gone of this UEFA Cup second round, first leg match. The return to come at Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time. And Celtic, having got off to a good start, will now want to build on it.
Yeah, they've done a lot right in this game, Celtic, and apart from sloppy defending at that corner, then you would say that they've done nothing wrong at all. But that was a blow to be 1-0 down. But Martin O'Neill must be really delighted that the system has remained intact, because Bordeaux haven't asked him a question, haven't put Dugarry into a position that's made Celtic shift from their normal style of play, and that always helps greatly when you can just play the way you've not been playing. Okay, Thompson's not available tonight in Sutton, but McNamara's come in there, Moravcik, 2 very capable players.
Lasland unsuccessful in squeezing his pass through there. It was Valharan who intercepted. Larsson can't keep possession. Back goes Bobby Petta. And taking no chances as Sylvain Legwinski came in, and the stony features there of Eli Bopp on the bench for Bordeaux. And that is a goal which will have rocked him to his very core. The goal from Henrik Larsson after Christophe Dugarry had given Bordeaux the lead following a corner kick. Petta's clearance. Alain Roche. Fendunot sweeps the ball out wide, but it was more in hope than anything else, and Didier Agat was there first and let the ball run off Bruno Basto, the Portuguese left back for Bordeaux. Johan Mjalby with the ball in his hands, aiming at Agat, can't get his head to it. It's another throw. Celtic inching their way down the touchline. Bordeaux supporters beginning to find their voices again. They were silenced a few minutes ago with that penalty award. Basta's throw. Diabate. Grenet for Dugarry. Cross goes Paul Lambert again. In goes Bobby Petta to help out as well. It's good play, prevented that going behind for a corner kick. Shielding the ball well. from Dugarry, and goes Grinny as well to help out. That's good play from Peta, very patient. And that's Stilian Petrov's hitch kick, which gets the ball even further downfield. Somai under pressure from Larsson, back it goes to Ulrich Rami. Johan Mjalby watched that all the way, good powerful header away. Agat after it. Basto into Somai, the man who conceded the penalty kick, and Alain Roche alongside. Bordeaux won the UEFA Cup in 1996. They made history in doing so as well, because they qualified from the Intertoto Cup, and they're the first team ever to go from Intertoto Cup all the way through to the UEFA Cup final. They lost out in the end to Bayern Munich. One of the top sides in French football over the last 4 seasons. David Somai to Francois Granet. Fenduno, the teenage wide midfield player, the Guinea international. And now all the way from right to left, Basto lays the ball back, shooting opportunity, but it's sliced wide, struck well enough by Sylvain Legwinski. Got good contact here, but it was almost swerving away.
Yeah, they hadn't actually worked the ball through, but that's Bordeaux's best little spell of passing there, keeping possession of it, building a move up, taking the ball forward, finally ending with a distance shot, you have to say. But what you look at it, the Celtic have done a good job so far in preventing them building up that sort of football. And you know, at the moment the game's going a little bit flat from Bordeaux's point of view.
1-1's probably about right, Gordon, but if any team were to be leading here, it would be Celtic, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they can be very happy with their start away from home. As I say, haven't been all that impressed so far with Bordeaux. We know they're a top side, but Celtic have equally have matched them good balls.
Henrik Larsson, lovely pass. Lubo Moravcik hesitated. Rami came out. Now Moravcik again. Tried to chip that into the top corner. It would have been some goal had it come off. That was a lovely passage of play. It was well won initially by Mjalby. Good ball through with the outside of his foot from Larsson. And Gordon, I thought Moravcik was in there.
He was unlucky. He was just under a bit of pressure. I can see what he tried to do. The idea was perfect. There, the keeper was out, and then he spilled it. It was a great ball from Larsson outside the foot, trying to do exactly what Larsson had done for Moravcik in the early part of the game with the through ball when Larsson failed to control it.
And that had Martin O'Neill getting a little bit excited again on the touchline. You saw his reaction earlier on to the opening goal, and he was bouncing up and down there again, thinking that Moravcik might just have put that one in.
Well, it's another sign. It said in terms of chances so far, Celtic been the way side and counter-attacking at times that have created better openings, Rob, and I think that must be very encouraging. Martin O'Neill, I'm sure he thinks his team can definitely score at least one more goal here.
Pauletta's header down, Fendenou trying to escape the clutches of Bobby Peta, but he'll need to do a bit better than that to do so. He's had a good first half so far. Peta very industrious, working hard when he goes back, and he's a threat when he goes forward, as he showed in the first 30 seconds when he got to the byline and pulled the ball back for Larsson. So it's very positive at the moment from a Celtic point of view, but they need to maintain the standard they've set. Fendenou trying to lay the ball off. It's a good one too for Grinny on the overlap. Pulls the ball back from the byline, flicked away by Mjalby. An important header, chased out by Agat. It's Legwinski getting turned. Celtic getting back behind the ball. That's so important. Combination of Moravcik and McNamara thwart Bordeaux, but they do have a free kick.
Yeah, having just praised Bobby Peta, he went to sleep there because he thought the ball was originally was going to be intercepted and they weren't going to get a through pass, so he didn't track his runner, and the next thing the man's down on the right hand side and got a good cross in, so Bobby Peta will need to be alert.
And the foul given against Lubo Moravcik, and this a chance for Bordeaux to apply some pressure. In from Grenay, a swirling free kick. Celtic defend it well, and Lambert's very cool as he plays the ball out, keeps possession, gets Celtic moving forward with Didier Agat. Infield from him is Lubo Moravcik. Henrik Larsson makes his run, the pass too heavily hit. The idea was good, you could see exactly what Lubo Moravcik was trying to do with that reverse pass to pick out Larsson's run, but it didn't quite come off this time. Dugarry, great skills, joy to watch, really talented player. Sometimes hasn't really delivered all he should, but he's delivered a free kick there. Wry smile on his face maybe, made the most of it. Paul Lambert's challenge. but the referee gives Bordeaux the free kick, and Henrik Larsson telling him exactly where it should be taken from.
Yeah, he schooled Dugarry and going down there. The arm came across from Paul Lambert, and as soon as that happened, he knew he might be outrun for the ball, and he just threw himself down in a dangerous situation again.
Jonathan Gould indicating he wants 2 players in the wall for this free kick, and it's a busy box. Whipped in, low and hard, flicked away, and another headed opportunity for Dugarry, and he's disappointed. He didn't really get too much on it, and it was straight at Jonathan Gould. This a chance, undoubtedly, for Dugarry.
Yeah, it's a decent header down, but no power in it, and it made it quite easy for Gould, and it was a second touch header that didn't look flick on, I think, coming off a Celtic player.
Less than 10 minutes to go to half-time, and Celtic would love to take this scoreline into the away dressing room. 1-1 against Bordeaux, and were they to come away from Stade Lescours with a draw, they will be absolutely delighted, because it will lay the foundations for an advancement into the 3rd round of the UEFA Cup, and that would rewrite history for them, because it's been miserable in recent times in Europe for Celtic, and they want to get back to the good old days. Agat chases, he's quick enough to catch it. Somae goes with him. Now Agat looks for reinforcements, whips in the cross for Henrik Larsson! Oh, brilliant save by Ulrich Rame to deny him. Good ball in from Agat, a flashing header from Larsson, and that's a top quality save.
Yeah, that's a great ball, and you've always got a chance with Larsson's ability in the air. See him getting over a much taller defender there. There's power in the header, and it's just at a good height for the keeper. Unfortunately, Henrik Larsson gets power in it, gets direction, but it's just too close to the keeper.
Good reflexes from Rame, and as Gordon said, it was possibly where he wanted it. If it had been steered down, Celtic might well have had a second goal there. Corner kick, and Lubo Moravcik to take it. Rame is grounded as the ball comes back off the crossbar, and a free kick given. And Henrik Larsson looking apologetic.
Yeah, I think that Johan Mjalby's the man who just tries to nudge the keeper off it here as he's coming up for the cross, and you can see there an obvious foul, and it's a chance gone, because as he knocks the keeper over here, Henrik Larsson once again gets the header in, hits the crossbar.
He went down a bit like the dying swan there, Ulrich Rame, but there was definitely contact with Mjalby, and a few complaints from Celtic about that. So the countdown towards half-time continues, 7.5 minutes left, and it's Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Christophe Dugarry for the home team, followed by Henrik Larsson's penalty for Celtic. Good play from Agat. McNamara loses it. Sloppy play there from Celtic. And here's a chance for Bastow at the byline. Flicks off the head of Mjalby. And a corner kick conceded. And Celtic will look upon this as an unforced error, really, because they had possession, gave it away, and suddenly it's corner kick. Jonathan Gould taking charge on the goal line, organising the Celtic defence in front of him. Everyone inside the box for Celtic, apart from Didier Agat, who's just a few yards outside. Laszlo, an obvious target. That was Moravcik at the near post who got it away. Good challenge from Agat. And now Bastow, who won the corner kick in the first place.
That might just have worked at the first goal against Celtic, because the keeper there, they called for Moravcik to come and stand in that near post area, and then he's got to, the French have to knock it over him, and they didn't manage it.
Dugarry through for Laszlo. He's on the ground. Stilian Petrov hammers the ball away. Half-hearted appeals, it sounded like, inside the stadium for a penalty kick there. And now Celtic on the counter. Through from Moravcik for Peta. That's well covered though by Grunet. Watched the Peta run and matched it. And now Fenduno. Back to Somae. Diabate. Of course, Bordeaux missing the influence of Mark Wilmots, the Belgian captain in the midfield, injured at the weekend. Here's another very influential figure, Christophe Dugarry. Teasing ball in towards Paoletta, headed away by Valhaeren. And worked on from Diabate to Grunet. Now Fenduno. Legwinski. Trying to find a way through. Wide for Diabate. Back to Grenay, quick change of direction. Celtic working hard at closing down, making it difficult for Bordeaux to construct attacks and frustrate this man.
I don't think he'd be all that happy with how his side have played. Celtic have managed to negate them in midfield. You stop them really getting forward in that area and building too many attacks. Gary's obviously been a threat. Paul Lambert's done his best to go and do a man-for-man job on him. If you keep Gary quiet, you probably take away about half their effectiveness. But you know, they said he's such a good player, though he can create for other people.
Well, this was the claim for a penalty. Petrov involved for Celtic, and Gordon, what did you think here?
Nah, nothing at all.
He was down before Petrov arrived, wasn't
Absolutely, yeah. Petrov's come across and blocked it.
Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1 in Stade Lescourt. Celtic will hope the scoreline stays this way for the closing stages of the first period. Jonathan Gould's clearance, left-footed. Lambert flicks the ball forward. Grenay heads it infield to Somai. And back to Ramé. Bordeaux, who put 5 goals past Lierse in the first round of the UEFA Cup, including a hat-trick for Paoletta. Attacking here, Dugarry is grounded, but he's very quickly back up again, to be fair. That time, there was no real pretense at a claim for a penalty kick. Jackie McNamara was the player involved for Celtic.
Yeah, it was good covering with Jackie McNamara because he's come from the midfield area. He's got himself into the right-back position just to make sure that Dugarry didn't get free there. Paul Lambert had passed him on in that case, and then McNamara did a decent job just to make sure he's not going to get in possession of the ball. But Celtic have got to be very vigilant at this time, Rob, just before half-time. Make sure they give nothing away.
It would be a big psychological boost for Bordeaux were they to retake the lead at this stage, and Celtic will be watchful. Henrik Larsson certainly is. He kept himself onside there, drifting towards the byline again. Terrific play again from Larsson. Alain Roche concedes a corner kick. He's always so alive mentally, Larsson, to what's going on round about him, and he gives Celtic another opportunity to cash in here with a corner kick to be taken by Bobby Petta. Johan Mjalby makes his presence felt. In from Petta. Headed away by Dugarry. Only as far as McNamara. Back to Petta. Drifted in towards Mjalby's head. Got his head to it successfully, but steered it wide of target. He was well away from goal there, Mjalby, and he gave it his all. But it wasn't a real threat to Ramé.
Yeah, there was no pace in the cross, really, so Mjalby had to get all the power in the header, and he's trying to scope him where it is. It might have been better just to try and knock it down in the box and keep the pressure on there, but he's trying to score and he's having to, you know, put a full header in there.
You're always in these sort of situations trying to put the performance into perspective, and let's not forget that Bordeaux last season were playing in the Champions League. They got to the second phase of the competition as well before finishing bottom of Manchester United's group, but this is a side of real quality, despite the fact that Miku and Wiltor, the 2 French internationals, departed in the summer to Arsenal and Parma. They're a side full of quality, and Celtic, so far, let's stress again that this job is not yet half done. But so far, Celtic can be very pleased with their efforts, but they must keep this going right up to half-time. Fendenu through, offside, Paoletta.
Yeah, it was good work. Good squeezing of the Celtic back 3 there. You can just see them just stepping out at the right time. Johan Mjalby's the last man there. Very, very tight. That could easily have been onside. You can just see how the difference of one player going one way and the other player going the other. The gap opens so quickly, and he looked a mile offside from here. But when you see that replay again, it could be
definitely onside, wasn't he? Yeah. That would have been a real chance for Bordeaux to retake the lead. There wasn't really a great deal of fuss made about that at the time. It looked glaringly offside, but as the pictures showed there, he was actually on. 1-1 it remains, and inside the last minute of the first half. Bruno Basto, back to David Somai, heading forward, and in the right back berth is Grenay. Infield intended for Diabate, but that wasn't accounting for the presence of Henrik Larsson. Another good interception, working hard for the team as ever. Bobby Petta loses out, but he was fouled by Fendeno. Free kick to Celtic, and we've played almost exactly 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, Harden, the free kick was already given. He's into quite a strong challenge, and he's taking a knock on his ankle for his trouble there. But said before, I mean, they maybe got away with that one there, but they've got to be very careful. Celtic, they want to get at half-time the very worst one each.
2 minutes to be added, and we're playing the first minute of stoppage time as Ulrich Rami knocks the ball downfield. Johan Mjalby won the header. Flicked away by Paul Lambert to Jos Valharen, who looks to be moving pretty freely, thankfully for Celtic. Here he is again, losing out this time to Findanu. Diabate dives into the challenge. Valharen again. Took a deflection, run through to Jackie McNamara. Gets a good pass away to Henrik Larsson. It runs free to Bobby Petta. Larsson and Moravcik in the middle. Lubo Moravcik chased it. It was always heading away from him, the cross. Gave it his best shot, and he's forced a corner kick, because the last touch here was
good defending, Basto. Yeah, Basto getting to the back post there, but it was good defending because the opportunity was there. Even if a gap maybe had come in a little bit from the side, but I think he was taking a chance that if Moravcik didn't go on the end of it, then he could maybe get the next touch, but Basto's got between them and knocked it away.
The second minute of stoppage time, in the last minute of this first half, in from Bobby Petta, headed away by Laslon. Brave header by Jackie McNamara. The boot seems to be high there from Pauletta. No free kick given, and this is the last chance of the first half. It could be one for Bordeaux. That's terrific play again. It's Didier Agat doing a very impressive job of backtracking as Bordeaux threatened, and that will have pleased his manager no end.
I think it's his sign of his pace here. I was looking at the situation develop, and certainly Bordeaux had men up on Celtic, but Agat, he came from nowhere in a 40-yard burst. He got himself a yard in front, intercepted the pass, and the danger was gone.
The 2 minutes of stoppage time are just about up now, and Eli Bopp checking his watch, and shortly the players will be heading down that tunnel. Indeed they will soon now. 1-1, a terrific scoreline for Celtic at half-time. Christophe Dugarry for Bordeaux first after 22 minutes, and then Henrik Larsson struck the equaliser 2 minutes later from the penalty spot after he'd been brought down. That replay that we showed you just a few minutes ago showed us that Pauletta might well have had a chance to restore Bordeaux's lead, but this, Gordon, has been a top
travelling support for any team to have, and you know, their team are doing them proud at the moment.
Didier Agat having a little consultation with Stilian Petrov, and Bordeaux will certainly be looking for...
Before Celtic have been allowed to play the system that they've been playing for some weeks now. Bordeaux haven't given them a test. They haven't set them any problems really that made Celtic have to change things about. Okay, Dugarry was floating about. Paul Lambert's picked him up from time to time. He's gone wide. Jackie McNamara took him. But if Dugarry was to go and just play right up front on the left-hand side, then Celtic would need to adjust, and that's what Martin O'Neill wouldn't want that. But at the moment, things are going well for Celtic because they can play their normal way.
And the second half is underway. The job for Celtic is only half done. Been a tremendous showing in the first 45 minutes. They need to repeat that, and if they can repeat that in the second half, then they should have a very good result to take back to Celtic Park for the second leg in 2 weeks' time, and give themselves an excellent chance of moving through to the third round of the competition for the first time since season 83-84.
No obvious change right away to talk about Bordeaux. Rob, same sort of setup. They're playing a 4-2 in a two sort of wide area, so it's like almost like a 4-4-2 with Dugarry, but he'll probably float about. He started off there in the first half, but they certainly haven't. The three up front still playing with the two, and there's no doubt that Laslandis has been a very disappointing performer.
Good passing from Celtic, lovely move down the right-hand side, keeping possession well, causing problems. Jackie McNamara bursting into the penalty box, and he's held away by Francois Grenet, who gets the ball clear for Bordeaux. They now try to spark an attack of their own. Lasland, and alongside him Diabate, booked in the first half, and on the wide side of midfield Findanu, ahead of him Pauletta. Tom Boyd keeping a very close watch and forcing Bordeaux into mistakes.
Yeah, Pauletta started very sharply in the game and looked as if he was going to be a real threat, and he's fallen away. Tommy Boyd's done a good job marking him and just stayed alongside him most of the time. Tommy Boyd's reasonably pacey as well, making sure that he's not getting any freedom to play.
He's got 17 Portuguese caps and 4 goals for his country as well, does Pauleta, who arrived here at Bordeaux from Deportiva La Coruña in Spanish football, and he certainly made a quick impact with Bordeaux. Here's a man who's made a tremendous impact in the last few years at Celtic Park, Henrik Larsson. Phenomenal goal-scoring record, but it's not just his goals. There's a lot more to the play of Henrik Larsson than that. His fellow Swede Johan Mjällby, composed at the back, waiting his moment there before releasing the ball down the line for Agat. And now Alain Roche for Bordeaux.
I think I would say this is the best I've seen Larsson play this season already, Rob. I mean, he's still scoring goals this season. I don't think he's quite recaptured the form he had before his leg break, but tonight looks back to his best in terms of holding the ball up and the confidence that he's playing with and the runs he's making as well.
Venduno, good balance, cutting inside, still has possession. That's good for Dugarry, a dangerous ball in, and Johan Mjällby got a very important touch there. Otherwise there was a chance for Laszlo in the penalty box. Just deflected the ball behind the striker, and danger over at that stage.
Yeah, Dugarry peeled away to the back post, you see here, and he knocks it. First time across goal. It's a vital touch there. Laszlo was coming onto it there, and it was swept up by Tommy Boyd, and then he just pushed it wide. But Morache got a sore one there. Once again, it was, I think it was the 18 Diabete, who's obviously got a yellow card already. The solid challenger on, he's limping.
Tom Boyd's free kick fired up to the head of Henrik Larsson, gets a good touch. Jackie McNamara was chasing it, and Rami had to be quickly off his line to gather this. Again, good knockdown from Larsson. Almost exactly a year ago, that's horrific night in Lyon when Henrik Larsson suffered the leg break, which was to keep him out for the rest of the season, and only made his return in Euro 2000 with Sweden. What a comeback he's made. And yet again, another vital goal for Larsson tonight. He scored in each of Celtic's last 5 matches, 17 goals for the season.
I think his pace could be used to good effect tonight, Agat, on that right-hand side. Certainly they're worried about him. And when he does open up, he is so quick as well, and he just needs to relieve the pressure at times just by running the ball down into the corner flag.
4.5 minutes gone in the second half. Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Dugarry and Larsson, the scorers, within 2 minutes of each other midway through the first half. Venduno knocks it down for Diabete, trying to link with Pauleta. Good defending again from Johan Mjällby. That was Somai, the central defender, with a powerful header, and he again chesting it down this time for Diabete. Back to Roche and Venduno. Bordeaux trying to build some confidence and trying to ask questions of Celtic. Venduno in from the wide position to a more central area now. That's a good run by Basto. The tackle from the back was by Agat, and that's a free kick. Pretty pacey customer, Basto. Dugarry with terrific control of the ball. With a follow-up challenge from Agat, enough to get the ball away from him. Paul Lambert was doing the marking job. These, you feel, important moments in the match. Celtic trying to safeguard their position. The overlap from Grenet. That's for Laszlo on his header. It's not a real problem for Jonathan Gould. Possibly caught in 2 minds there between a header at goal and a knockdown for Pauleta. Loose stuff from Bordeaux. Celtic have it back with Mjällby. Somai's header, bouncing towards Laszlo. Heads it down to Dugarry. Legwinski. That's pretty theatrical from Basto.
getting the free kick though. Making the most of it there. Paul Lambert's almost been caught in a sort of right back area at the moment, because that's where Dugarry keeps drifting in there, and he's trying to do a man-for-man job on him.
Good skills again from Dugarry, lofted in for Paoletta. Good play again from the Celtic central defensive trio of Mjällby, Boyd and Valharan. And there you get the feeling will be increasingly important to the team as this match goes on. 7 minutes into the second half. Somai, Legvinsky, Diabate. Grunet now, down the line for Laszlo, and that's a good dummy. He's taken Valharan out, but he's too heavy with the ball in. Mjällby heads away. Back in from Dugarry. The flag is up from the assistant on this side. The offside flag up, and the attack fizzles out, but that was impressive from Laszlo.
Yeah, first we've seen him, I mean, he's been disappointing. He got a real break there, because having dummied it could quite easily have just gone to Valharan, but he went through his legs, and he's thrown the ball to the back post, which is also a dangerous area. But I mean, without Laszlo, he's probably one of the ones who'd expect to go and win it there, so Celtic be quite comfortable if he's crossing the ball in all night.
Henrik Larsson, lovely footwork. It breaks for Agathe. Good hit from Didier Agathe, bang on target. You wouldn't expect him to score from that sort of position, but he did the best he could, and there was nothing rather Rami could do than parry that one round the corner.
Yeah, he's had a look first and decided, you know, that there was an opportunity there. Rami's got it away, but certainly Henrik Larsson, good footwork from him, and when the ball broke to Agathe, Larsson drifted away to the back post.
The corner kick from Moravcik, no challenge on Rami as he grabs it. Johan Mjällby was the nearest to getting anything of a challenge on that corner from Moravcik. And now Christophe Dugarry sprinting forwards. Back goes Agathe, working hard. The Martin O'Neill philosophy of give it everything and hard work to go with the skill, and Agathe following that shot at goal with a lung-bursting run back down the touchline to get in the way of Dugarry. Grunet to Laszlo. Off Peta. It's a Bordeaux throw. Fenduno didn't look entirely sure what he was doing there. Celtic have it back with Petrov. McNamara. Back from Mjällby. Possession lost this time.
Yeah, they're under a little bit of pressure in this second half. Celtic have been pinned in a bit more than they were in the first half, and you know, that kind of its risks and consequences if Celtic allow Bordeaux to keep building up in their own half. So they've got to get out. Tommy Boyd is captain in there as a spare player most of the time. He's got to push the team out. They've got to start getting forward. Here's Pet on the ball now. They haven't got as forward as much at all in the second half. On the left-hand side, they were causing problems in the first half down there on both sides, in fact. And they need to get more from Pet.
Yeah, he's barely seen the ball really since the turnaround, Gordon.
Yep.
But he's won a free kick there. And that means Mjällby and Valharan pushing forward for Martin O'Neill's team. Alongside Henrik Larsson, just inside the penalty box. And Lubo Moravcik on his right foot, heading towards Mjällby. And that's a throw-in. Whipped in towards Mjällby by Moravcik, but headed away. And that's a goal kick. Despite Peta's efforts. And I wonder how much longer it will be before Bordeaux contemplate a change, maybe freshen things up. Celtic with the likes of Berkovic and Stubbs and Reset on the bench. Tommy Johnson as well.
Yeah, I would think with the front-running job he's been asked to do tonight and not played an awful lot of football, Moravcik might be the one that's changed over at some stage, maybe to give Berkovic a role there to get forward, or maybe even Tommy Johnson.
That's given away by Roche. Interception by Moravcik, and a good pass. Agathe played that very quickly. Jackie McNamara was trying to get back into an onside position.
Yeah, those are exactly the type of situations where you would just say to Jackie McNamara, just drift off the situation, try and draw a defender away, leave it 1 against 1 over on the far side with a Gat, and let him go and just take his man on in those circumstances. Don't have to make a run in behind with the pace that a Gat has.
That's Laslon's header directed towards Dugarry. Celtic get it clear. Larsson on his own up on the halfway line. Grenade. Poor one aimed at Fendanu. But Bobby Petta with a comfortable interception. And looked as if he was fouled there, Petta, as he tried to get beyond Fendanu. Possession lost. Fendanu gets to the byline. That's a teasing, testing ball in, but it had gone across the goal line. But Bobby Petta there, maybe a little bit over-ambitious in a dangerous area.
Yeah, he was caught dwelling on it, and it was good football from Bordeaux to get themselves wide, but I don't think there's any question that that ball initially had gone out from the cross. It was a dangerous one, though, but Celtic had mopped it up anyway.
And that was the instant in which Petta lost possession. I thought he might have been fouled in the first place, but it certainly offered up an opportunity for Bordeaux and Fendanu to get to the byline. And thankfully, from a Celtic point of view, the curling ball back was behind before it reappeared in play at the far post.
It's interesting that looking at the subs, and I don't know what Bordeaux might do in an attacking sense, but they've got 2 defenders on the bench, 2 centre-backs, Celjevic and Alicante, who have both been linked with Celtic over the last couple of seasons as players that Celtic were definitely going to move for. In fact, I think they did move for Savjevic,
yeah.
because and it was just the players' terms were too high.
It's Bruno Basto getting forward again, making another good run for Bordeaux. The ball whipped in, diving header away. Was by Valharan, claims for handball. Mostly from the crowd, it has to be said. No way through for Moravcik. Diabate. For Grenade. Diabate again, Laslon. Watched closely by Valharan. And that was Jus Valharan stretching out to get his toe to it. And that's a heavy challenge from Laslond on Larsson. And it's a yellow card for Lilian Laslond. Got himself on the wrong side of Larsson, and he's got himself on the wrong side of the ref now.
Yeah, I've interested to watch this again, because it looked to me as if Henrik Larsson went across him and then put an arm into him, but he's grabbed him by the waist. I think it's just the way Henrik Larsson's fallen down there that it's got him injured. You can see Henrik Larsson goes across him just to commit the defender, which is the right thing to do, or commit the player, Laslond. And Laslond has just wrapped himself, but it might have actually damaged Larsson in terms of the way he's fallen here.
Yeah, it's not like Henrik Larsson to stay on the ground unless absolutely necessary. And he hasn't really moved from the position in which he fell. So this is a big concern for Celtic, because apart from his goal threat, Henrik Larsson works so hard for the team.
Yeah, he's not a player you'd want to see go off for Celtic at this stage, because he always is capable of scoring another goal in this match. But Celtic have to step up their work rate a little bit in the second half, to be honest, because they're giving the ball away too cheaply. They're not supporting the front men when they should. He's injured again. It looks as if he just clipped him in the ankle there as he went over, and just the way he fell, and then he's hit him on the head as well.
Yeah,
That's what kicked him on the face there.
Well, the stretcher was on for Henrik Larsson. Thankfully, that now appears to have been waved away, but he looks a bit groggy.
Just one of his nose is still damaged from the first half as well, from the challenge the goalkeeper had on him.
He's over at the touchline. Celtic down to 10 men temporarily, but more important to them is that they get Larsson back on in a minute. Tom Boyd with the free kick, failing to find Agat. McNamara in, flicks it forward, and Somai lets it run through.
He doesn't have much luck in France, Henrik Larsson, you've got to say, Rob. Just wonder if he'd consider coming his holidays here.
I know, exactly. But hopefully it's nothing like as serious as last time, and indeed Henrik Larsson now back on the pitch, getting a little bit of treatment from the home supporters, who clearly felt that he'd made a meal of the situation.
Yeah, I was going back to, there was loads of support in the first half for the front men. Moravcik and Larsson were getting ably supported by the midfield, and that has to happen a little bit more second half. They've got to get up to support McNamara's been the most liable to do that in this second half, but they need to get a bit more from Petrov, who's sort of fallen out of the game. I mean, he's plenty of touches in the first half, but seen very little of him. Paul Lambert's having to do a man-for-man marking job, so he's not there to support things at the moment. He's doing an important job in that other sense, but you've got to get Petter in a gap in the wide areas as well to try and run forward and just take the game to that end of the field. Otherwise, Celtic under pressure, you know, something might just break in the box. Bordeaux get another goal.
Back it goes to Rami. Bordeaux trying to build something with Van de Nieuw. Instruction given against Bobby Petter. Free kick given for this challenge. The 19-year-old Van de Nieuw again. Petter's injured. Lasland with the layoff, and that's a free kick just outside the penalty box, conceded by Didier Agat, and a yellow card for Agat as well.
I wasn't sure he made contact there, to be honest with you. I think that Gary was always looking for the free kick here. Just see it again. Well, I don't think he touched
Not
him.
enough a lot, but he certainly timed the fall well.
Perfectly timed. But Bobby Petter's still down, and I haven't even noticed. The referee's trying to sort things out one side of the field. Bobby Petter's still down injured.
Another chance to determine here whether there was any contact whatsoever. Agat flung himself in, and I think Jugari at that point decided he was going to make the most of the lunge from Agat, and it certainly was a convincing fall, and the referee was taken in, and Celtic will feel badly done to if Bordeaux can make anything of this free kick, as Bobby Petter gets some running repairs. Again, the stretcher is on. And here's how Petter was hurt. He went over on his ankle there. That might well be an awkward one. And he'll hope that he's able to run this knock off.
Yeah, it'll be a sore one, but he's limping off. Didn't use the stretcher, but definitely needing some treatment on that. And down to 10 men at the moment, Celtic, they won't be making a change till they find out how he is, and have to defend this free kick on the edge of the box. Looks like Lasland maybe ready to have a shot.
Everyone behind this for Celtic, and Lasland is the man over the ball, who fancies himself for a crack at goal here. And it's a packed penalty box, and this could be difficult for Jonathan Gould. It's Lasland, juggled by Gould. Not the best of handling there. It came through a ruck of players, no doubt about that. This was always going to be difficult for Jonathan Gould. It did take a slight deflection, in fact, and it ended up coming off his shins, I think, and spinning behind.
Yeah, definitely flipped to heels, and he's going one way, and he's just caught, his arms just can't gather the ball in, so he's done the right thing.
Corner kick whipped in at the near post. Mjalby headed it clear. Van de Nieuw. And that's a good recovery from Bobby Petter. Looked for a moment as if Van de Nieuw had got in behind him. Petter got back well to knock the ball behind. Corner kick quickly taken. Deflected cross headed away by Mjalby. A big man in the centre of the defence in all senses of the word, Johan Mjalby. But Celtic being hemmed in at the moment. Looking to get some possession and get some forward movement. Legwinski, it's a good run, stumbling though at the last minute, and a free kick given. Pauletta, under pressure from McNamara. Diabate to Roche, good pass, good run by Lasland. Bobby Petter watched him, as well as Valharan. Alain Roche. Out to the left back, Basta. Dugari. Celtic don't mind him getting on the ball in that sort of area. Flighted in for Lasland. Again, it's Mjalby. Legwinski wins it. Dugari, a little bit casual. And Jackie McNamara wasn't. Moravcik. Only Moravcik and Larsson are up for Celtic. And the Slovakian loses out. And now Bordeaux on the counter. Fenduno to Bruno Basto. Lasland linking play together. Free kick given.
There's been no noticeable step up in Bordeaux's play in this second half, but it's certainly getting much more possession, and it's all in Celtic's half. And you know, I just wonder if Celtic are just sitting in too much. The back players there are not pushing up to support things, and consequently Celtic are not playing anywhere near the sort of football they played in the first half. They're just soaking up pressure. More of a typical European away leg this, and maybe a bit more than we actually expected in the beginning, what the game would be like.
In from Roche, away by Mjalby. And now Didier Agat at the edge of the box. Just thumps it upfield towards Moravcik. The aerial tussle with Alain Roche. And Dugani trying to be a bit too clever that time.
I think Celtic might contemplate changes because just to freshen it up and fresh legs. Certainly Moravcik's a capable player, but you know, he's not a strong running player, and they might just decide to get a little bit more running power up front as well.
We're into the final quarter of the match. Bordeaux 1, Celtic 1. Dugarry and Larsson, the goal scorers in the first half. Well, there's 2 balls in play at the moment. One is removed. Valhaden is the other. Aims at Henrik Larsson. Roche kept his eye on the ball and headed it clear. Dugarry. Good pass for Legwinski. Lasland with the layoff. Dugarry again. Tried to just flick that one out wide for Fendenu, but it didn't come off. And the sounds of frustration around the stadium.
There's a much loved son here. I mean, even a round of applause and a little cheer there when he's making mistakes, but he's such a talented player. I think that at times he overdoes it, and that allows other people you know, to get out of position because he holds it maybe a bit more than he should. But when he does the right sort of thing and when he wants to use his ability, he is really good to watch.
That's a poor clearance by Rami. Larsson almost had it. Agat has. Support comes from McNamara. Jackie McNamara trying to wriggle his way towards the byline. He's done well. The tackle from the back on McNamara. Might well have been a free kick, I thought. Corner kick is given.
Yeah, I think he had a good opportunity there to get a free kick. Good work by him, but you see here the tackle comes in from behind as he's about to cross it, you know, and the player's pointing for a corner. But you see here, gets himself free, wriggles out of the challenge, but just look at the way that he's being chased there, and Basto is in the tackle from behind, and I think that could easily have been a free kick.
Moravcik with the corner kick. Here's a chance at the far post. Headed away by Dugarry. Lasland doing some defending as well. Lilian Lasland, good pass. Fenduno against Boyd. That's a neat little ball in, and Jonathan Gould can stop that going behind for a corner kick. It was Paul Lambert who went sliding in to the rescue in the penalty box, and Gould stopped it going behind. Diabate, Legwinski, Basto, Dugarry. Lambert, eyes fixed firmly on the ball. Legwinski again. Basto. Looking for a free kick as Didier Agat dived in. Free kick given. And there was contact, wasn't there?
I think he made the most of it because he realised he's kicked the ball out for a goal kick there, and did the right thing by going down and got the free kick.
Grenet with the free kick. Diving header away by McNamara. Not the most testing of free kicks, really, but good defending from Celtic. And they might need to do a little bit more here. Henrik Larsson, lovely control of the ball and change of direction. Ended up by overrunning it, but good ability from Larsson. And he remains a real threat to Eli Bop's hopes of piloting Bordeaux into the next round of the UEFA Cup. Mjällby, safety first, gets that downfield. Legwinski, Dugarry, Laszlo chases, and Bobby Petta turns it behind for a corner kick. He was concerned that Jonathan Gould wasn't going to make this.
This is good covering. Petta gets himself in a nice area there. I think he did the right thing. Jonathan Gould probably would have got it, but just to make sure, a nice little ball from Dugarry, just finding the space there. As long after it, Petta gets it away.
They're queuing up for Bordeaux in the penalty box. In from Grinny, good delivery. Guess who? Mjällby again, first to the header. Diabate, the Ivory Coast international, booked in the first half. Somai to the feet of Dugarry. Chipped in for Laszlo, but a weary looking effort, that one. And it's bounced through to Jonathan Gould. That's for Larsson, but Walsh gets there. And composed enough to get the ball under control, but now he's lost it. Agat. Strong play from Didier Agat. Takes a bit of shifting. And the cross, sadly for Luba Moravcik, is beyond him. After good play to work the opening from Agat. Venduno for Laszlo. Back inside, Bobby Petta stretching out. And manages to complete the interception. McNamara. Agat for Lambert. Celtic keeping the ball when they have it, that's crucial. Offside against Henrik Larsson. Well, he'd lost it initially there, Bobby Petta, but Venduno's first touch led him back in for a second crack. Nearly 29 minutes gone in the second half. Still 1-1 in Bordeaux. Scottish football needs a good result in Europe after last night's disappointment in Austria for Rangers. Celtic hope they can come up with it. That's lost by Lambert. Dugarry for Laszlo. This could be dangerous for Celtic. The far post, chip, it's off the post. That was close.
Yeah, all came. Paul Lambert caught possession in midfield, and quickly they got the ball to Laszlo. A great cross, you have to say, but a very tight angle there to try and work that in. And it was Pauletta, who get into the back post there. Decent header, but he'd been better knocking that back across goal, because they did have Dugarry in there to support it, but didn't do the best of finish. But Celtic giving the ball away, launched a good attack and then gave it away.
It's most unlike Paul Lambert, but that was his mistake, and Celtic can ill afford to do that, because that was what sparked that Bordeaux attack. Outside of the post in the end for Pauletta's header. Advantage played after a foul. By the looks of it from Venduno. The flag almost up from the assistant on this side for the initial infringement. The shirt tugging there from Petta. That was the foul, but the referee correctly playing advantage. Although try telling that to the Bordeaux fans at the moment. Inside the last 15 minutes of the match, it's 1-1. Christophe Dugarry and Henrik Larsson with the goals so far. Here is Dugarry, lofted in for Pauletta. Valharan got his head to it. Bobby Petta shepherds the ball clear. That's good play from Petta, taking the ball out of the danger area and then inviting the challenge from Venduno.
Yeah, it's a hard game in the second half. Venduno has come into the match a lot more, Robin. First half, Petta was getting forward, but he's been more or less kept to defensive duty, defensive role in this second half, and consequently stopped Celtic having any attacks really at all down the left-hand side. It's all been over on the right.
Somai to Basto. That was intended for Dugarry, but it was nowhere near the target. And now Paul Lambert a chance to use the Celtic possession. It was aimed at Didier Agathe, who seemed to be caught as he tried to get down that touchline, and he's hobbling, but seems to be okay. Bordeaux have a lot of urgency about them at this stage. They have to. This is a match they feel they have to win. Grenet. Dugarry. First time ball for Laszlo. Running round him is Grenet on his left foot. Chip back in, looking for Paoletta. It drops for Grenet again. But he's guilty of a tug at the shirt of Didier Agathe. Celtic have a free kick and some relief after Grenet got himself involved quite a few times in that Bordeaux attack.
I mean, it might turn out to be the right sort of thing to do. It might work out for them, but I just feel Celtic are sitting in a little bit too much, Robin. That there's a lot of 1-2s you can play on the edge of the box, and just think that, you know, they're bringing a lot of trouble on themselves. The first half, when they pushed right up, Bordeaux were hardly creating a chance.
And now they're inviting Bordeaux to come at them, really, which they in turn will do, because in front of their home fans they will want to deliver a result which gives them at least a chance in the second leg. Although Celtic will think back to Lyon a year ago. They lost 1-0 in the first leg, and Henrik Larsson with a chance there. He was onside, and there was a chance there for Henrik Larsson to pull this down.
Absolutely, he should take this on his chest. What a great position. It was a 2v1 situation. Defender had sat in far too deep, and Celtic had 2 players forward there. That's a good chance gone.
It's unlike Henrik Larsson to make the wrong decision. That appeared to be it there, though. There was time, there was room. Maybe he needed a shout, but he could have chested that down and gone in on goal and really given Celtic a result to cheer about. I was mentioning Lyon a year ago. Celtic lost 1-0, and they lost, of course, Larsson overseas as well. The match was still there for them in the return at Celtic Park. Sadly, on that occasion, they lost again by the same margin, and their European campaign was over. They want to do a more professional job this time round, and they certainly want to hang on to this 1-0 scoreline here. Dugarry probing at the Celtic defence. Jos Valhaeren stretching to clear that one. Now it's Agathe with the responsibility. Laid it back from Yalby, and he unloaded it. But they're coming at Celtic in waves. The pass from Legwinski to Dugarry. What a good challenge that was. And it had to be from Agathe. He timed that very well. And you got the feeling that Dugarry would have seized on any opportunity there to have claimed the penalty kick. But Agathe got his timing absolutely right. Celtic have lost possession, and it's Laszlo. Infield for Fendenu. Getting towards the box, Pauletta's layoff. That's a good challenge from Peta. Against Lilian Laszlo. Celtic have it now. A tired-looking Moravcik plays the ball infield. Petrov took a knock, and has a free kick. And I wonder how much longer Martin O'Neill will persevere with Moravcik. It looks pretty tired to me, Gordon.
Yeah, I think he's tired. I think that, you know, probably about the right time to make a substitution. I wouldn't be even against it, putting Agathe through the middle. I think putting him there would cause him a problem. You could bring on the likes of Healy and play him, but first substitution comes obviously a defender coming on, Surveillance, who, as I said before, was a Celtic target last season or the season before.
Yeah, Yugoslav international. He's played more than 30 times for his country. Nisa Savalic. And it's a straight swap, central defender for central defender, with Alain Roche now taking his place in the dugout.
What I was going to say was that if you put Healy in the position where Agathe's playing on that right-hand side, he can run that position, give Moravcik a rest and put Agathe through the middle.
Good run again from Fendenu. Good pass as well for Laszlo. His cross deflected away from Paoletta. That was a good touch for Celtic, because that was heading for the head of Paoletta. And now Agathe for Celtic, up to Henrik Larsson, trying manfully to keep the ball. Savalic. Fendenu again, inside the last 10 minutes of the match. Good challenge. Petrov. Now Moravcik gets in. Celtic scrapping for everything. It could be a nervous conclusion to this match, as Celtic try to hang on to what they've got, which at the moment is a 1-1 draw with Bordeaux. The teenager Fendenu again, and breakdown in communication there with Legwinski. Celtic get the ball out to Didier Agathe. Strength and pace and composure, good stuff. And that's a good pass as well. Did well there, Didier Agathe. back on home soil, used to play with Montpellier. And here's another man who used to play in French football, Lubo Moravcik. Run into Safiljic. Too many grey shirts around about him. Ultimately there, Bobby Petta was in a wide position, wanting the ball. Lasland lays it back for Safiljic, and there's a man who's just on the pitch and trying to get the grips with it. And the pass nowhere near Bruno Basta, as Bordeaux prepared to make a second change. It's Laurent Batles who will come on in place of Sylvain Legwinski. And a lot of people thought that Laurent Batles would have started this match, because he tends to be the player who comes in when Mark Wilmots is unavailable. Celtic still don't want to make a change. Less than 8 minutes left. Legwinski back in the dugout. Smile on his face, but there can't be too much satisfaction among the Bordeaux players at the moment. If Celtic can hang on here, this is just the result they were looking for. I said earlier on that the last, when Scotland played here in the World Cup of '98, it finished 1-1. And chatting with John Robertson, the assistant manager before the match, said to him, that would be quite a good result if you can repeat that one, and that's the way it is at the moment, Gordon.
Yeah, but superb result. The Celtic can keep it this, or even get a winning goal. I mean, there's still little signs that they can still get forward and create with an opening earlier on for Larson.
Fenduno's pass, a good one for Pauletta. Corner kick off Tom Boyd. Fenduno has been an impressive performer in the second half, setting up Pauletta, and his cross off Boyd. And there's a study in concentration on the goal line, Jonathan Gould. Francois Grenet with the corner kick, flicked on at the near post, and a good header as well from 8 yards out by the substitute Safiljic, but it was straight at Jonathan Gould. Really easy save. Here's Pauletta, the Portuguese international. The cross, headed away by Paul Lambert. Finds Didier Agat. He's fouled surely by Lasland, tripped from behind. And the seconds tick away. Now just over 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, there was some injury time as well. Obviously, because of the injuries to like Petta and Larson in this second half, maybe at least a good 2 or 3 minutes, Rob. They've done well. I'm quite surprised that Martin O'Neill maybe just doesn't want to interrupt the shape of his team and making any changes in either personnel or in basically the system as play as well. As I said, I think maybe a gap through the middle might do very well for them. But he maybe just doesn't want to change it about. Just keep things going the way it's going. It's working so far, and they're still, you know, the fact it's one each means it's worked.
Grenet, Fenduno again threatening for Bordeaux, but he's come up against the rock-like figure of Jos Valharen. That's good play from the Belgian international defender. A free kick is Celtic's as well.
Yeah, it was good defending, well timed. Very tough customer, Valharen, very strong man, reasonable pace he's got as well, good in the air, and he defended that well because he wasn't taken on by the forward at all. He just turned them and won it cleanly in the box. Not always an easy thing to do.
There wasn't much doubt there, that was going to be his ball, Valharen. Very determined, won it well. Petrov to Petta. That's a foul by Fenduno. A barge into Bobby Petta. Now 4 minutes plus stoppage time, separating Celtic from a very impressive result in Bordeaux. Petta's cross grabbed unchallenged by Rami and immediately thumps it downfield.
Yeah, it was a bit of a waste. It wasn't a good ball, that, because Moravcik had gone wide. He could have kept the ball in that area, and a better ball would have been to play to Moravcik. He crosses such a good ball anyway. That's the reason he hadn't taken the free kick, was because he wanted to be in possession further up the field.
Frantic activity from Martin O'Neill on the touchline, wanting Celtic to maintain 100% concentration in these crucial closing stages. Grenet fired in low, takes a little touch off Dugarry, but no great threat. Bordeaux coming again with Dugarry, Diabate, and the header drops wide, but the offside flag was up. Anyway, it wouldn't have counted had this ended up in the back of the net from Pauleta.
I thought it was a late flag because I thought Pauleta was off all the time, and I looked right away at the linesman. He didn't put it up initially, and I'm not sure. I think he thought that the header for Pauleta might have been going to another player, and that's why he gave offside. So if Pauleta headed that straight in, I'm not so sure he was given offside there.
Lasland and Bordeaux looking to make one final effort, trying to turn a draw into a win. They know Celtic will be firm favourites to get through to the third round of the competition if the scoreline stays this way. Celtic with a home game to come. Of course, that has its own potential pitfalls, and you get the feeling there's a lot of life yet in this tie.
Well, it does. It's still wide open, but the main thing about Celtic is they've got the goal away from home. Last year in Lyon, that they get back from being 1-0 down, and it meant that they were always under pressure at home, and when they lost that goal initially and had to score 3 goals, they didn't look like doing it. But this year, big difference having the vital away goal.
Martin O'Neill with John Robertson and Steve Walford alongside him as Bordeaux now make another change. And this time it's to be Hervé Bounier who will come on. One last throw of the dice from Elie Bopp. Jonathan Gould hammers the ball downfield. Basto gets a header away. Savljic plays it out for Fendonneau. And overlapping, Grenet for Dugarry. Inevitably, Paul Lambert is with him. Wants to stick close. Bobby Petta in there as well. And a corner kick is the outcome. Always a menace. Christophe Dugarry. Never quite know what's coming next from him.
Good covering from Petta, because what you want is one player like Lambert who goes across with Dugarry and slows him down, but then you need a bit of assistance. You need the second man to come in there and close the space too, because Paul Lambert doesn't want to commit himself to a challenge because Dugarry's so sharp.
Inside the 90th minute, corner kick from Grenet, flicked away by Mjalby. Diabate squares it to Basto, trying to get on the outside of Agat. Made a good challenge, advantage played. In from Lasland. The header back. And it might break for Grenet. Still has it. The Basto behind Lasland. The Bordeaux striker furious that the pass went behind him there when he wanted it played to his feet. Another little flurry in the Celtic penalty box. And Henrik Larsson takes the ball downfield. 90 minutes played.
It was amazing that, Rob, because he had a choice about 3 or 4 passes forward. They could have picked up a player there, a teammate, and he decided to play a square ball straight to Agat, so the chance was gone. But I say there will be a bit of extra time here because
5 minutes apparently.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be a fair, but there was injuries to Larsson and injuries to Petta, which took a bit of time.
Lasland off. Bounier is the substitute. We're into stoppage time in Bordeaux. 4.5 minutes to play. This could be a nerve-wracking finale to the match for Celtic, and they won't want to undo all the good work they've done tonight by a lapse in these closing stages. But the ball is up at the right end of the pitch for them at the moment, and it's Rami who's having to do the organising this time. 2 in the wall for him, and Henrik Larsson leaves the free kick to Lubo Moravcik. Mjalby and Valharan possible targets here, and that's a yellow card for Moravcik for time wasting according to the referee. Very graciously accepted there by Moravcik.
It was, wasn't it?
Here's the free kick, headed away by Diabate. Bobby Petta onto it. Oh, good play from Petta, saw the gap, immediately into it. Bobby Petta. Well, I thought he was looking for a penalty kick, but he was very quickly up and after the ball, but great presence of mind there, Gordon, to see the gap that had opened up.
It was a great run, wasn't it? He did excellent there. It bought a bit of time, and they could have got through, but in the end up nothing came of it. At least they kept some Bordeaux penned in for a few more seconds.
Bunye, the substitute, wriggling back, trying to find some room. And that's a foul by Silian Petrov. And it's a yellow card for Petrov, and that's the yellow card which will keep him out of the return match, already with a yellow card in the competition. So Petrov out for the return at Celtic Park in 2 weeks' time. A little bit rash, a little bit reckless in an area in which he didn't really need to dive in.
I agree with you, it's not really a challenge you need to make, and at this stage of the game, knowing he had a yellow card, he missed the return game, that's a bit of a blow for Celtic, losing a player like Petrov.
And it could be another blow here. In from Grenet, the free kick. And again, the woodwork is rattled by Bordeaux. Christophe Dugarry with his head in his hands. Good delivery from Grenet. Again, it was Dugarry with the aerial threat, and Jonathan Gould could only look back in relief there, Gordon.
Yeah, it's come off the side of his head, really, but it's a good leap again. He's won it, and he's been a threat to Celtic in the air, and you know, he's disappointed, but hit the post. But Celtic finally are making a change now. Waste a bit of time too. It looks like Petter's going to come off.
Good free kick from Grenet, and well won in the middle by Dugarry. But maybe credit the challenge there against Dugarry as well. It was far from a free header, and it came off the outside of the upright. So Celtic make a change, and it's Bobby Petta who's worked hard, and he's off, and he gets a clap on the back as he heads for the dugout from Martin O'Neill, and it's Colin Healy who's on in his place. More defending for Celtic to do. Josef Alharan plays the ball straight to Fendano. That was a mistake. Now Pauletta. Fendano again. Drifted into the far post. This is dangerous. Dugarry stretched out, but it was the player behind him who might have carried even more threat here if Dugarry had let that go.
Yeah, I think he took off his head, to be honest with you. The Bartlett's just getting into the back post. He's probably not going to score from that angle. He can knock it back across goal. Dugarry doesn't see him coming and clears the danger.
Just a minute left. 1 minute of stoppage time to go. 1-1, Bordeaux against Celtic. Bunye plays the ball through. Pauletta, he was being held back, was he, by Josef Alharan. Goal kick is the outcome, and fists flying in the penalty box. A furious reaction to the fact a penalty kick wasn't given there, and this could be a red card because arms were raised. It looked to me as if a punch was thrown there after Celtic escaped the penalty claim, and it's the Portuguese player Pauletta who gets a yellow card, and Paul Lambert does as well. And was this a claim for a penalty kick against Tom Boyd?
I think he's just caught him as he's running through, but I think that the players made the most of it there. He's looking for a penalty kick here. There's no doubt Tommy Boyd's trying to get through, but you know, it's not enough to actually bring him down. He's just going for the penalty. Very brave decision from the referee, I have to say, because there's many a referee would have given it.
Here's a good break from Petrov. Saved by Rami, struck with the outside of his right foot by Petrov. Pretty impressive fitness there to be bursting into the box at this stage of the match. We've played now 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's almost over. It is now. 1-1 in Bordeaux, and the altercations continue at the final whistle. Christophe Dugarry involved this time. Still the arguments going on about the penalty kick, which wasn't given, but the final whistle amidst all the rumpus on the pitch has gone, and Celtic have a magnificent result in Bordeaux. They've drawn 1-1 with the French side who were in the Champions League last season. It's certainly a a high-tension finish to the game, Gordon.
Yeah, certainly will. There'll be a few scores to settle in a fortnight's time in Glasgow, but a magnificent result for Celtic to get away and get a draw away from home, and the very fact is they've got the goal as well. They couldn't ask for any more. A lot of heroes. Every Celtic player tonight was a hero.
Saw the reaction there of Eli Bopp on the touchline, hoping he got a penalty right in the final minute of stoppage time. It wasn't to be for Bordeaux. Great result for Celtic, and they've given themselves the perfect opportunity of making it into the third round of the UEFA Cup. Still a lot to do, but they couldn't have hoped for a much better outcome tonight. 1-1.
I thought their overall performance was excellent, really, really excellent. Boys worked their guts out, they did fantastically, and we played with some skill and determination, as befits the Celtic side.
We've given ourselves a chance, as I said before as well. It's important we went back to our own ground. It's something there that you can try and get into the next round. We've done a reasonable job, but we've still got an awful long way to go.
Henrik did brilliantly to get the penalty, and obviously converted. But overall performance, there were some individuals who were absolutely excellent, and if the other boys weren't excellent, they were, well, is excellent better than magnificent? You know,
I'm not sure.
One of the two, doesn't really matter. The team were terrific.
I think he enjoyed
Surroundings. He's a boy in blue now, happy at Birmingham City with 3 goals in his first 2 appearances for the St Andrews club, and he knows he just had to get out of Parkhead.
Yeah, to get games I definitely felt I had to go somewhere else, you know, to get a run of 10, 15 games I'm looking for, you know, I had to go somewhere else, and that's why I'm doing it at Birmingham.
Would you not have thought you might have got a Premiership club, English Premiership club?
Yeah, but maybe not on loan, you know, so I just Birmingham were the first, well, they weren't the first one to come in, but definitely with Trevor Francis here, so it was worth going, you know, so that's why I came.
We've agreed a fee, as you know, 1.5. That was agreed prior to him coming here. We showed our intentions that you know, we are serious about it, otherwise we wouldn't have paid the loan fee. For us, 160,000 for a 3-month loan is quite substantial, so our interest is there, and I really hope that he does well, because he's settled in well. He's a good lad, he wants to do well, he's very keen to be playing regular football, and I'm looking for a goal scorer.
Mark Birchall got the final touch.
Birchall is left behind a Celtic team on fire. He could be excused for being bitter and twisted, but he feels an emotion far from that.
No, it's brilliant for the boys, you know, I'm happy, I'm a Celtic fan, as I've said all along. You know, I've not been up to watch them since I've been away. Hopefully I'll get a chance to get up and watch them, because they're doing brilliant now.
Do you not feel you're missing out being part of that?
Obviously I'm missing out a wee bit, you know, I'm missing out on the boys doing so well, but that's just part and parcel, you know, life, you know what I mean? I've just got to get on with it. I'm here at Birmingham now, so that's what I just got to think about the Birmingham games.
You don't hold any grudges against Martin O'Neill and anyone else who didn't give you a chance?
Nah, I don't hold any grudges against them, you know. If he's obviously done what he thought was right, and you know, you've got to look at where they are in the league now, so obviously has done it right, so I'm just happy to get in a few games with Birmingham.
Why do you think it is that you were never given a run at first team game?
I don't know, whether it's my age or whatever, I don't know. You need to ask the manager that.
Did you feel that maybe your international presence was in danger if you weren't playing?
Definitely. I think if you're not playing with your first team at your club, you know, I don't think you've got much chance to get in the Scotland squad, which proved this first 2 squads of the season, you know, I was left out, so hopefully if I can get playing here at Birmingham, I'll definitely get a chance back in the squad. I don't think it's a case of proving people wrong, you know, it's just, I think if you ask Martin O'Neill, he thinks I'm good enough, you know, but just, I don't know whether it's now or whenever it's going to be, but, you know, I'm just going to prove it to show what I know I can do, you know, if I do get a chance.
So Lindy, it wouldn't be impossible that you could go back up the road.
Celtic through to the CIS Insurance Cup quarter-final at time.
Right, judging from the mood we felt coming into the stadium, and as we hear now, most of them have put that behind them, as if they realise that to have any chance against the form team of Scottish football at the moment, then full-throated backing is essential. And this, in fact, is a Hearts team that will be playing tonight. Yemi, Presley, Murray, Locke, Flogo, Petric, Kirk, Fulton, Severin, Cameron and Tomaszek. And that's the way we think they will play tonight. 3 at the back there. And up front, Kirk has scored 4 goals this season, and Flogo, the Austrian international. Have a look at this Celtic lineup. And first of all, the subs bench, as you see it happening now, with Boyd, Petter, Petrov, Mjolby, all regulars this season, consigned, I think, temporarily to the bench tonight. And this is how we think Celtic might play, with 3 at the back there, Stubbs in the middle, and up front and on the left-hand side,
giving a chance there to Stephen Craney, lovely left-footed player, and Jamie Smith up front there with Tommy Johnson, who scored a couple of goals against Wraith Rovers in the previous round. And there is the referee for tonight, Kenny Clark. And if you took logic into this game, as Celtic go into the huddle, you can probably hear the support for that in the background. The logic of this game is that Hearts have lost 9 goals in the last 2 games, and Celtic have scored 12 more games in the league, and it would point to a rather easy Celtic victory. But the man sitting beside me, Billy McNeil, knows that logic sometimes cannot be applied to this match, but Celtic nevertheless favourites.
Well, Celtic have certainly had a very positive start to the season, but in a cup tie you're never entirely sure what might happen. This is a mixture of players who have been playing, ones who have been on the bench, and youngsters looking to make their name, so it'll be an interesting game all round.
That ball flicked back there, Moravcik lining up with Tommy Johnson. He was in a hard tussle the last time. Look at the pace of Johnston, and that's a very good tackle indeed. Good judgment by Petric. Put out by Valkarin. Moravcik. Yes. Healy with the squared ball. Jamie Smith. Just a little bit too enthusiastic. Youngster getting his head over the ball, determined to show how concentrated he is. Craney straight in there. Johnson running the wrong side. Well, Hearts picked themselves up after an excellent victory, even though they didn't get through in Europe against Stuttgart. Had good performances in that. Hibs game was quite exceptional. Neatly flicked by Thompson. Craney using that left foot of his again. Moravcik, player I like, traditional Scottish inside forward, very much bringing it from the east. Good tackle by Reset. I think that ball's still in play. Yes, Reset. Moravcik was screaming for the ball. Cameron tracked back very well. Well, I think Severin was quite unsure what to do with the ball, and he gets the benefit of the refereeing decision there. I think he'd lost his way originally.
There wasn't an awful lot in that, Archie. You know that they're both tossing for the ball, and the referee saw that perhaps Tommy Johnson used his arm, but there wasn't an awful lot in it.
Cameron very quick in the uptake. Flogo. Well, I think the anticipation by Cook was for the ball to be played forward.
I think he was certainly looking for that, but you know, it looked to me as though Flogo was merely going to use him as a decoy and then take the ball himself, and really at the end of the day it was a poor pass.
Cook is down as the ball is played to Fulton. Oh, he's got back up on his feet as Fulton comes in. Tomaszek trying to go around the side, and will he get it? No. Yeah, I think it's still in. It is indeed. And that's not a bad effort. Ball whipped across goal. And Severin, watch him as he comes in. The ball just played a little bit too far to his left.
The final delivery just a little bit behind him, but he makes a reasonable effort at it. But, you know, it just shows you that Hearts are up to the game, they're enjoying the game. Perhaps the pressure of the league points is off them, and they know that Celtic have got a team that's still really got to find its way of playing with each other. So they're having a go.
Certainly Craney eager to come down that left-hand side. There he is again. Saw him come on as a substitute at the tail end of last season. He was only on the park about 30 seconds or so, and he got a free kick. Hadn't really seen him before, and he rifled one in with that left foot of his. Down by Locke. Balkeren going in, touched away. Well, Celtic were moving the ball about well, but Moravcik not happy about that, Bill. I think he wanted the ball played to his feet.
Yeah, he's coming off a marker. None of the Hearts players look as though they're going to pick him up, and he's going to try and pick up that little bit of space, get the ball played into his feet, either feed Tommy Johnson or look for anyone to come up and support, or indeed have a shot himself.
Well, collision with the two Hearts players. Dear oh dear, well, when troubles come to a club, they come in legions. Look at this, that's all they need. Injuring each other. Watch the challenge. One in the back and one in the front of the head. That's most unfortunate. But I think it harks back, Billy, to that sense of commitment they have. I mean, they really are eager. They have an appetite for it.
Well, there's no doubt whatsoever. That's what causes that. You know, two of them going for the one ball, but it's been a nasty one. And when you're in difficulty, more difficult seem to come, don't they? I hope it's nothing too serious.
Well, they're certainly having a very close look at it. We've got to be very careful about these things. Even at this stage, in fact, they're having to bring another stretcher on. There might, in fact, be two substitutions. Running away down towards the bench to pass on the word to Jim Jeffries. Oh, you don't want to see this, do you? I mean,
certainly not. It's the two front players, isn't it?
Yeah. Now that's very difficult to overcome.
Well, it is. You know, obviously they've started the game very enthusiastically. This is disappointing for them, but you never know. Maybe in adversity things go right.
I think, in fact, it's Juanjo and Nielsen who are about to come on. Here they come. Nielsen coming on first, 3 league games, one as a substitute for the club. And now can Hearts regroup themselves? Well, they had to play with spirit to start off with in this game. That was to the left-hand side. I think the assistant referee underneath us had his flag up. It's at a time like this, in a crisis and an emergency, that sometimes it brings out the best in men, Billy.
Well, certainly in cup ties, you never know what to expect. And football has a way of throwing up some amazing results at times. And, you know, I think, as I say, in adversity, sometimes the best comes to the top and players give a bit more than they would normally give.
There'll be a throw to Hearts. Just let me repeat that Juanjo and Nielsen are on. Tragic accident there as that's touched away by Balkeren, then Smith, then Moravcik. Should be picked up by Fulton. Tries to get that ball to his left foot. His right foot doesn't quite operate as efficiently. Once again, Murray with a free kick, and this is where Hearts have looked useful with this high ball into the penalty area. Just a bit too direct that time. Gould read it well. Stubbs. Smith. Balkeren. There goes Reset. Look of grim determination about him. And ends rather undignified on his backside.
Yeah, Juanjo did well there. He was prepared to go away from his up front position, chase Reset back, and successfully got the throw in as well.
McNamara, from we've seen precious little in this game. Just kept in. Kirk has got a bit of pace about him. Did very well, and Balkeren's in position. There's Juanjo. Penalty kick. Juanjo taken out there. Reset, whom we complimented for his tackling earlier in the game, and he takes with a dragging leg.
Well, once again, the referees right. You know, he just leaves his leg in there and brings Wanjo down.
And I think the protests are going to produce a yellow card. Reset got the yellow card. And it looks like Alan Thompson as well protesting about that. Meanwhile, having to keep his nerve as Kirk is off the field. Great responsibility. And he puts it away. Hearts have taken the lead. Colin Cameron did remain cool after all. And despite having lost 2 men early in the game, having substituted, shown the team spirit with absolute aplomb, the penalty is put away.
Well, his composure's very good. He knows exactly what he's going to do. He keeps his eye on the goalkeeper, waits for Jonathan Gould to move and slosh it into that side of the net.
And you would expect a stinging Celtic response to that.
Well, they're entitled to make some inroads. They really haven't had any positive shots at that Hearts goal. And it's about time they did something about that. But, you know, credit to Hearts, and you really can't deny them the fact that they're maybe entitled to be in front at this stage.
Well, I did say earlier, these tackles had to be incisive and perfect tonight against a Celtic attack with talented players like Johnson. Gets a lucky little break. That wasn't a bad ball at all. Now coming in there with the left foot. Oh, it's a great goal. Crenny. A superb strike by the youngster. Wasn't the easiest of balls to take, but I did talk about that great left foot of his earlier in the day, and here is ample proof of it coming up now.
It really was a great strike, but look at the step over, took the Hearts defence with surprise, but even then he still had to hit a good shot, and it was a really good strike. He kept his head, knew what he was doing, kept his eye on the ball, controlled the shot. Superb strike, good work from Tommy Johnston initially. There's a step over it through the Hearts defence, and lovely striking, lovely hit into the net.
Thompson heavily in again. Just out of play. I suppose the irony, Billy, is that the man who got the penalty kick eventually wouldn't have been on the park at all, but for the accident. Wanjo working for it. Well, McNamara gets a yellow card this time. Acknowledges it with a little rueful and, I think, critical shake of the head. Puts it away again. Goal kick. And there's the yellow card tally. 3-1. Two minutes of stoppage time left. Remarkable second half to this first half, this second period. The injuries, then the 2 goals. That's a superb pass by Tomaszek. Well, clever though it looked, I don't think he had any support with him. Quite sure he realized there was nobody behind him. Well, Niemi's not had all that busy an evening. Has to keep his attention. No chance, of course. It's touched back by Reset. Gould dealt with that very well indeed. Severin. Petric just got away with it. I think Johnson went down in exasperation. I think he felt he might just have nipped that in an interception. Fulton
That'll be a throw to Celtic. Played very hard against his former club, as he always does. That's the man who hasn't really got going tonight, Moravcik. You know, he really does get involved in midfield. We haven't seen too much of him.
No, he hasn't really had an awful lot of the ball. Hasn't really got into it. That, you know, a lot of that's down to Hearts, that they are tightening up quickly in midfield. They're denying Celtic space, and they've done well.
Well, there we are. That's the ending of that half. Before we see the start of this game, we're going to go to Peter Martin with Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries, a good first half, 1 goal in front, and Celtic back in it. What did you say?
Game again, we just need to get a wee break. I don't think we've had a break in the first half, especially when we lost the 2 players the way we did. But you know, we just keep doing the same things, and you know, make sure we'll show this. The crowd's with us. The application of the players is terrific. So keep them up. We've got a chance.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, Jim Jeffries with a smile on his face. Maybe on Saturday evening you thought that might be unattainable, but he's responded, as his players have responded to the crowd and the backing they've given them as we start this second half. Celtic, as Billy Stark was saying during the half-time interval, came back into this game, showed a little bit of the form that might be expected of them in the last 10 minutes of that half. Tried to respond to going a goal behind, and surely got inspiration. A youngster leading the way for them from the back with that spectacular strike. I think a lot more to follow in this match as Balcherin goes for it. I think you were making a point, Billy, at half-time, that the Celtics certainly want to retain this trophy, but Hearts, because of the circumstances, might just be that little bit more eager and in anticipation of this game.
Well, I think they are. I think there's 2 reasons for that. They really realise that they perhaps don't have the ability that Celtic possess, but if they can have the necessary enthusiasm, keep the pace of the game going, it suit Hearts more than it will suit Celtic if they can keep denying space in the midfield and keep the game going from end to end, and that's really the way they've set the whole target of the game.
There's Wanjo. Again, singled out by panelists. A lad, Billy, who simply likes to get the ball at his feet and run at the defence, even though sometimes we don't know how it's going to end up.
Well, it's really never nice to see the incident that we saw early on, and to see players, you know, suffer head injuries. But you know, Wanjo, who really has come on and has made an impact on the game, and this game suits him. He can pick up the ball and run at people with it.
Played out there by Cameron to Nielsen, who's come on and played very well, I may say, on this right-hand side. Yes, that'll be a free kick, slightly late again by Healy. You can see that long stretch there, and I think actually it was the impetus of Cameron that brought that about eventually. Johnson. I don't think Billy Johnson's eagerness has been matched quite by the service he's had throughout. He's desperate to get going.
That's right. He's not really had any particularly good service, but Martin O'Neill has made a change. Young Jamie Smith has gone up front to join Tommy Johnson up there, and I think it's probably to give them maybe a better target to hit. But really, in that first half, Alan Thompson and Colin Healy, who are the central midfield players, really didn't get the ball up to the front players.
Suddenly Presley found himself on the right-hand side, and they get the corner kick. Well, young Nielsen came in there. He looks very, very mature, and indeed we've seen 2 defensive players playing very well. Craney, of course, with that spectacular goal, and Nielsen, who's played very quietly and effectively on the other side of the field for Hearts. Good to see the youngsters making up. A lot of curb in that. Craney got behind it again. Just a little bit too shallow the way he swept it across, but not his best foot, Billy.
Certainly not his best foot. You know, had that come from the other side, then I think it would have been a different approach to the whole thing.
It's back to Wanjo again. He's going to try the shot. Well, it fell to his left-hand side, and there was just the possibility of finding the net there. Gould had it covered all the same. And there's Smith running in after that. That's good control, except for the final ball. Well, his run was good, and at least going through the middle, he got away from the defender because he's been very closely marked in the first half.
That's right, he created that little bit of width for himself, took it on his chest, but just perhaps overhit it, and I think possibly trying too hard to do something positive at the end of it all. But what Martin O'Neill has done, he's pushed young Jamie Smith right up front, and Moravcik is paying a little bit closer attention to him as well, and he's really trying to commit that back three of Hearts.
There's a run by Johnson going after this, and Niemi judged it to perfection. Certainly a lot of running by Celtic up front. They've got pace, the two men who are there. That studious look again, and this man who's trying to sum up exactly how his team ought to adjust to this situation. Rather slack there by Petric. Beautifully brought down by Kirk. Away he goes. There's a shot, brilliantly saved. No wonder he's expressing anguish. The square run, and that's a magnificent save by Gould.
It was an absolute magnificent save, wasn't it? Because Kirk makes all the room for himself, breaks across the front of defenders, really very, very positive, and hits a tremendous shot. And all credit to Jonathan Gould. He's well out his goal, but what a fabulous leap and a great touch. Really saved the day for Celtic there.
Wanjo deep, and that's touched by Gould again, and I think he gets protection from the referee this time. A wee bit of a grunt from Jonathan, but the whistle had gone in any case. Yes, he was fouled, backing into him.
I sometimes wonder about giving fouls away in the opposing team's box like that, because you're taking all the pressure off them. The goalkeeper can easily make a mistake. It might be a bad clearance, but you know, giving a foul away takes any hint of danger away from it.
Beautifully turned out there and played into the ball. Set must be brilliant save. Well, Smith went right in for the kill there. That's remarkable. The highest quality goalkeeping at either end as the game flows on. Here's Wanjo. Left it behind him. Well, you might say in balance, Billy, that really should have gone in the back of the net. It was directed at the goalkeeper, but still, superb instinctive save, and that looked like a push. I have to say that as the ball was played into the middle again, Presley certainly used his physique to effect.
He certainly did use his body there, you know, but there's that save. You know, we'll have a magnificent save at one end, we'll have a tremendous save at the other. You know, the game has really opened up, and I think we're in for an exciting second half.
Well, two Celtic youngsters, as we pointed out at the start, Craney and Smith getting the chance tonight. Craney's made it, Smith almost made it there with that volley, but denied by quality goalkeeping. What a contrast with the first half. As Billy Stark mentioned, there was hardly anything in the penalty areas. It went straight in, but the referee wants it retaken. I must say, Alan Thompson took that almost impudently. He saw a little space there. That was accurate.
I think he was actually looking for Tommy Johnson. Tommy Johnson made the run, but it went in the net anyway.
Now Celtic putting the pressure on now. It's the same kind of ball. Well, they might have thought he would have changed the tack, went for it the same way virtually.
Good strike there, wasn't it? Crowded goal mouth. You're never entirely sure if the goalkeeper was going to get a good sight of it.
He'll Cullen in again. Stmirren getting it free this time. And a sense of urgency about this game now, which was lacking in the first half. Moravcik being harassed. Up goes Johnson, neat little touch there, and Yemi. In that collision, he's gone down. The goalkeeper is injured. I think he took it on his knee, and the referee has stopped play. He had to be courageous to go for this.
He was certainly very positive because, you know, he's out right into the face of the attacker and makes sure that the ball doesn't go in the net. And
we'll see if he takes this goal kick.
Martin O'Neill's change into the second half has certainly helped Celtic. They've now got two players up front that they can hit. Moravcik is finding that bit more space because those two players are committing that back three of Hearts, and he's finding it much easier to pick up a little bit of room and get a hold of the ball.
Kirk trying to go around the outside. Gould. Really boisterous cup tie now. Stubbs. Wanjo couldn't get control quickly enough. Cameron reset with him. Cameron again. Here's Wanjo. Just overstruck as he put it there, but again, all credit to Valcherens, who really does have great vision in these tight areas. Well, the Belgian international played, of course, in the recent European Championship in a solid Belgian defence. Very good signing by Celtic. Wow, this game could tilt absolutely any way now. McNamara again foiled by Fulton, watching him very closely there. Wanjo to Fulton. It's not to be a free kick. Well, there have been the bookings, and there have been some rather intemperate tackles from time to time, but it really hasn't got out of hand. Well, Cameron seemed to be caught in no man's land. Cute play by Fulton. That's a nice little ball through. That's a great goal. Tremendous finish by Smith. And the youngster who was foiled earlier on took that with remarkable maturity.
It was a lovely pass from McNamara, wasn't it? Jamie Smith has got away from the two defenders. Beautiful ball. One touch. Ball in front of him. Tremendous strike.
Well, you know, it wasn't the easiest ball to take either, with the two defenders converging on him.
He gave himself that little bit of room, stole away from the two defenders. Super strike from that distance.
And so the young men of Celtic have struck twice in this match. And quite apart from the fact that we know exactly how the other Celtic players can perform, as they've demonstrated amply since the start of the season, I'm sure it's refreshing to see new talent emerging. Now, can Hearts pick themselves up from this? Losing out unnecessarily. It's Smith going after that again. And he looked just a little bit flat after conceding that goal. Just over 15,000 in this crowd, by the way, who've certainly enjoyed the most of it. Phases in the first half when not all that much was happening, a little bit negative, but it's erupted in the second half. That's the man who threaded through the pass for that goal. Long way to go from yet, though, in this match. Well, Colin Cameron, of course, has a League Cup medal, having played in the final for Wraith against Celtic. Johnson. Oh, I think Reset went for that fairly. Kirk. Cameron on his own. That's meant for Kirk again. Petric. Well, I think he advertised that too quickly, the fact that he was going to send it away to the left to Fulton, top of the picture there. Wanjo, is he elusive enough? Fulton, that's not a bad ball, and away by Valcharen again. Nielsen, a penalty kick. The referee had no doubt about that, and Valcharen, I think, is the culprit as he goes round here. Up went the arms on the blind side of the play, and you could see him hooking it away. And the second penalty to Hearts. There were no complaints that time. And could Jonathan Gould outguess Cameron this time? He can't. The same corner, and Hearts are back on level terms in this remarkable cup tie.
Well, it certainly is. You know, it was a surprise to see Valcharen using his hands. You know, he seemed to be forced into it, but once again, Cameron keeps his eye on the goalkeeper, waits until he makes a move and slots the ball away from him. Very composed, and certainly a critical time in the game as well.
I'm just about to say that, Billy, because they looked as if they were just getting a little bit too exasperated. They felt as if the game was running away from them, with Celtic having scored that marvellous second goal, and now back in it again. That's Valcharen. He looks annoyed with himself about that. Presley came away with it. That's a better ball to Cameron. Good play by Hearts. Has Fulton the pace to make it? No, he hasn't. That should be for Presley. Simply pops it back into midfield. Wanjo. Kirk. Oh, he should have laid it off. Just a little bit greedy that time. That's a very good ball play to the left. Now Johnson should like that kind of service. Oh, brushed away as Johnson vents his wrath at the referee. Cameron. There's Reset, very coolly back. And the referee's whistle goes, so we are going into extra time. And what a transformation in this player since last season, when, you know, almost anything could have happened. Left the club, wandered away into no man's land, and here he is, a positive influence, and his first touch of the ball. He's been doing this all season. A combination of skill and great pace. Arpeda. Johnson with the header. This could be it. It is. Healy puts it away. Well, I think we were justified in praising the goalkeepers right up until that moment, and that was a fatal error.
Well, it was a lovely move from Celtic, wasn't it? Because it was a great ball in from the left-hand side, good header. Niami didn't get the ball comfortably there, but he's got to make sure that doesn't break out. But all credit to young Colin Healy, another youngster for Celtic, in there, and you just see the ball breaking away from his leg. Really, I would think the goalkeeper's really got to hold on to that or get it round the post out the way.
McNamara slowing it down. Healy. Well, worth a dab.
He's performed very well for a youngster. He's adapted very well to that midfield role. Got more and more confidence as the game's gone on. But you know, this is where Celtic have scored. They had the substitutes to bring on, an experienced substitute to bring on in extra time, and that really was a great advantage at the end of the day.
The way Marabchik just tried to hold on and get somebody to run forward. A wee bit kind of huffy tonight, Marabchik, mourning a wee bit. He's not really been in the game as effectively as I've seen him, and when he is effective, he really is influential.
I think that's the problem. He wants to be on the ball and he wants to be dictating the play, and that just didn't happen for him tonight.
Yes, Milne backing in there.
It's been a very entertaining game. I mean, there's been so much in it. There's been penalty decisions. There's been that horrible incident we saw when Hearts had to regroup, and Hwangjo in particular has come on and really done well, as has young Nielsen. You know, there's been lots of good stuff here. 3 Celtic youngsters scoring their goals and everything else. A lot of excitement in the game. A lot of entertainment too.
Indeed, and when you look back on the 2 substitutions, Celtic come forward again now. Thompson, well, they're in the lead, and therefore they can dictate the pace of the game. Hearts have got to come at them. Thompson threaded it through well and gets it. Trying to get it to his right foot and tries the chip. When you look back on the double injury and the double substitution coming so early in the game, you can interpret it different ways, and coincidentally or accidentally it helped Hearts, but because it introduced, in that sense, I know it was a handicap, but getting Hwangjo onto the park to run at the Celtic defence.
I think it worked well for them in lots of ways, but you know, it denied them substitutes at an important time, the key time in the game. But certainly Hwangjo in particular has done really well up front, and has had a big impact in the way Hearts have played.
That's been the paradox of it all. There's Presley trying to get in it. Johnston leaning in towards his man. Can he lay it back? He does indeed. Thompson can get it to his left foot, just slightly short. Well, he wanted that ball pushed forward. Poor ending that time by Nielsen, and Stubbs does make the mistake. I think we don't need to emphasize that at this juncture, with so much football being played in such a hard game, that tiredness is decidedly a factor. Cameron almost got away with it. Better. Well, there's a good run forward by McNamara. Now the goalkeeper's totally exposed, and McNamara completely missed that, totally miscued it. Here is where the mistake was made. The ball bobbled, seemed to get him in the shin and go away from him.
Yeah, I don't think he could make up his mind what he wanted to do. He was hoping the goalkeeper would make the first move, and Niemi stood on his goal line, stood up to it, and didn't make that move, and all of a sudden the ball's broken from him. But you know, it was a shame, because he had Tommy Johnston down the other side, and a pass in there might have caused a real bit of problem. Certainly have killed the game off.
Well, we've seen a striker, Johnson, and a defender, McNamara, and a midfield player like McNamara having that long run in and goal. It shows you that even some of the best players are a little bit befuddled at times about how to finish. Oh, just away by Stubbs. Cameron is up there again. And offside. Clearly offside. Celtic defenders had come out. Left all in his own, no question.
Well, they come out quickly, and he was obviously left. He was hoping the ball was going to land in there from, and all credit to him, looking at the ball, probably didn't see the defenders leave him in there. Good defending.
It was indeed. Now certainly has come on to a better game in the latter part. Here is Peta. Just look where Colin Cameron is. I mean, he really has gone the whole length of the pitch to get back. That's a free kick.
It was a free kick, wasn't it?
So, Thompson. He was going after that. Once again, it was Kirk who came back. Tucks it down. Thompson. Yes, well, I think Niemi had his eye on that ball. It seemed to be, from our angle, Well, this will give us a better idea. Yes, swing away, well wide.
It was always going wide, wasn't it? Long way out, certainly.
But as you said, Billy, a highly enjoyable game. And I thought after that first 25 minutes it was going to be narrow, but less incident than we would have expected. And of course, the second half turned out trumps.
Well, that's right. And over the 90 minutes, I think the scoreline was right. You know, the teams were about equal. We saw some good saves from the goalkeeper. We saw some good play, particularly in the second half. But you know, I felt that Celtic had the advantage with the fresh legs coming on and getting that goal in that first period.
Here's Colin Cameron. That's a decent ball. Wanjo. And he touches it in now. Presley. Just a bit too deep. Reset does the rest. Well, you must credit Hearts. They've picked themselves up again. They're trying everything they know. It's a tired team out there. But oh, what a difference from Saturday. When many of the Hearts supporters were telling me they looked quite spineless. Well, they've got it back tonight. And I think that man there, I know he'll be angry and frustrated at the way things have worked out of a stage like this, but nevertheless, they've given up everything. Here's the break. Rabchik's in the middle. Thompson's making a run. And Johnson decided to go for it himself. Now, I wonder if it was the sheer velocity that made the goalkeeper do what you thought that he should have done with the first one. Just make sure he just got it away from
Well, he certainly got his body behind that one. But I think the ball was swerving a little bit. I think the outside the foot. But he made sure it wasn't going to go on the target there, didn't he?
And from that cross, Johnson puts it behind. The onus now in Hearts to finish this in style if they can. To pull themselves back. So little time left. And all Celtic need to do now at this juncture is simply keep possession. Thompson comes across. That's exactly what Celtic are trying to do. Johnson tries to put it in rifle, it's there! Moravchik. Well, well, well. Suddenly the youngster slept. Again, we had praised him so much. He let Moravchik get away, and that finishes it. Credit to Lubo Moravchik for creeping in at the back. And a touch of rawness there from the youngster. Ball watching, and they suffered.
That's right, but that's always a good delivery between the goalkeeper and the last defender, and he hesitates, doesn't he? And in goes Moravchik, says thank you very much, and the tie's now well beyond Hearts, isn't it?
Indeed, in that experience and class has certainly paid off for Celtic towards the end of the game. Here's Wanjo again. And any tension that may have been felt in the Celtic camp is well and truly over, and he knows it, although his expression is hardly speaking volumes.
No, he'll be relieved that he's got through the tie. You know, he changed his team quite a bit about. No one let him down, but you know, it was the fact that he had experienced substitutes on the bench in that last period that he was able to bring on.
It's McNamara, he's gone to left flank, he does it again. That's a glorious goal. They are rubbing it in now. Well, he scored at Fir Park, and that was much more spectacular. And there may have been a deflection.
Yeah, there was a deflection, wasn't it? Just lifted it away from the goalkeeper. But good strike from Jackie McNamara. And it's a shame that it had to finish this way from Hearts' point of view. But you know, Celtic really have had some tremendous amount of shots.
Yeah, I think
in the extra time period.
Well, I think these statistics sometimes don't tell the whole story, and while Celtic are emphatic victors now, it was much closer in the way that Hart suddenly developed an attitude that surely absolved them from much of the play they were criticised for. And there's a broad smile on the face of a man who's glad he's going to get the bonus money for a couple of minutes play. He doesn't need the bonus money, Tom Boyd, anyway, I don't think.
No, I don't think this is about bonus money anymore. This is about getting into the next stage of the cup, isn't it?
Now straight back. Gould picking it up, yes. Oh dear, how perplexed managers can be. They see so many good things and then a goalkeeping error.